Wow.
So yeah, we're live, motherfuckers.
Clutch that guy.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Figured I'd let you know this time, Terrell.
No, well, that's fine.
He can start talking bad about Shadowfox.
Like I need a motherfucker to see.
Well, he still sounds defeated from having to purchase that Nintendo Switch online. But we did the thing with the
Life's
family
a game. Play to win.
Pay to win.
Oh, you dick. You like it.
We did the thing though with the family plan, so we paid about $8 something a piece.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
And yeah. So say hi to Max for me, T, or
It's just really loud. He shouldn't be. You're too loud, boy.
We're live.
all right.
I'm
So
in a room with a closed door. You can still hear him perfectly, I bet.
yeah, it sounds as loud as you. So before we get into it too much, I just wanted to just ask the question: why the hell are they still updating Doom on Switch? I don't mind it. It's cool, but man,
Now you're just suspicious.
a year plus later, maybe this is work so that when the next game comes out, they'll have the video recording there at launch. But they added some improvements apparently to performance, and the video capture feature is now enabled. And I tested it, and actually the quality is pretty damn good of the recording. I was surprised because Rocket League is a huge downgrade, the recording versus the game, and I think Starlink was like spot on, and Doom looks about as good as it did when I was playing it. So shout outs to, I'm sure Panic Button worked on it. We're going to talk a little bit more about Bethesda, some negative, but
Because they going to get their shit together.
I got to say, I mean, I'm glad about this version because they just keep making it better. And I'm hoping Doom Eternal, like I said, launches with all this stuff in play. And so yeah, that's cool. Let me link, if anybody follows me on Twitter, I just posted just a test to see how it looked, and the sound, even the sound quality was like really high because I rewatched it on my computer with my
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird when I first heard it. I was like, damn, this doesn't sound like the Switch version.
No, it sounded like really impressive. Usually some of those Twitter has probably some of the worst compression for clips and stuff. Sometimes the audio sounds completely low quality, and then it just like the video sometimes goes low quality. But I'm impressed with the capturing, the fact that game supposedly added performance improvements and the capture, which you think would be the reason why they turn it off, is because it has some kind of cost to performance, but they got it working, so props to them. And so let's continue talking about Bethesda, because I tried bringing up some Fallout 76, I don't know, a couple podcasts ago. I thought we'd go in on them a little bit, but it kind of, I don't know, the conversation kind of switched real quickly out to something else, and I forgot to even bring it up again. But for those sorry bastards, I don't know if it's who I want to blame more, them or Bethesda, for the idiots for spending $200 on a collector's edition of
To be fair, Bethesda's been known for this shit, so motherfuckers should have known better.
And I have an extent though. Like this,
you never buy a Bethesda game at launch.
Wow.
Well, not an open world one. I'll say that.
I bought Fallout 4 and it was perfectly fine.
Well, I'm talking about the whole
perfectly fine.
Yeah, he's crazy.
I didn't experience any glitches for me.
And it's not even the glitches that with this collector's edition. And I haven't seen the actual. I've just heard people's comments, but they showed this like canvas duffel bag, and then people got basically a plastic garbage bag material version of it. And I guess they're going to remedy it now. Their initial plan was to just give people $5 in-game credit.
How fucking dare you?
That's hilarious.
And we didn't talk about it last week, and I forgot I think it's a couple weeks old, this news, but I mean, why is there a $200 collector's edition? And B, you're asking $200 and you give them a fucking cheap ass bag and can't even give them a canvas bag, which is probably only worth $15 anyway, made in China,
Mhm.
It's just
First of all, that first question, why? Because people will buy this shit. Like, that's why. That's why it exists. I mean, you got people that want to pay for downloadable characters and Smash, and they're already in the damn game already.
We don't talk about.
They want to pay to unlock them. Yeah.
Pay to unlock them. Like what the these are the type of consumers that ruin it for all of us. So that answers that first question, I think, because people will pay for it.
Anybody actually see anyone show the low quality bag? I'm trying to look it up now.
I'm looking.
I saw it before, and it's definitely a downgrade from a realistic downgrade. Usually it's just like games, but now physical items are getting downgraded.
Well, because listen, if we can cut corners, that's what the fuck we do. You think you're making me spend $200? I can get some real quality shit.
Right?
I've always called it Bethesda syndrome. You know, it's these fools, man. What I don't understand is that you got this company, right? They release a garbage, broken ass game. Yeah, people lap it up. Okay, they still make their excuses. They'll make it better. They'll make it better. Okay, and then you got these people who spend $200 on a limited edition after they've got their broken ass garbage game, and then Bethesda basically lie to their faces about the quality of the product that they're gonna get, and then they say, "Oh, we're sorry. I used 500 coins, in-game currency. We're sorry." Everyone still says, "No, man, it's fucking trash." Oh, okay, actually, we'll send you the bag that we advertised in the first place. Then they send it to them, and then they carry on playing their garbage ass, broken ass game. I just the mentality. If you compile all that together, and if any consumer in their right minds who has been lied to multiple times and given trash multiple times by the same company, and they still buy stuff from them, I don't get it. It blows my mind.
Yeah, I'll be honest, again, like for me, I love Bethesda. I love the Fallout franchise.
Get out!
The
one game.
Fallout 4. The one game. No. I take that. The one game, Fallout 4. I really fucking enjoy that. And again, when I played it, I know there were people having bug stuff, but for me, at least in my playthrough, I didn't experience anything, and I had a smooth, very fun experience. But Fallout 76, it seems like you just can't even go into a server without expecting something ridiculous to happen. Like shit just doesn't even work. That's just crazy.
I'm gonna link in our little chat.
But it's funny because they sent out a letter. Do you remember they sent out a letter where they basically said, "Hey, we know this game isn't working, but hopefully you still buy it." Like in a way, like it was.
Well, here's the official initial reply. We understand and respect that there is a disappointment with the bag in the Power Armor Edition. We are sorry. Please contact Bethesda support to provide proof of your purchase. They will assist you in granting your account 500 atoms, which equals $5 in game. And then then somebody, there's a bunch of comments. Somebody linked a photo of what it's supposed to look like, and it said like RTX, which is the new GTX or the no Radeon or no NVIDIA graphics cards. And then the picture to the right is the plastic bag, and it's like RTX disabled or something. It's pretty funny, but it's just.
And then they showed a bag that they were giving away at an event. They just giving this bag away, and it was high quality, just like the bag they were supposed to get. Mm-hmm. It was like these assholes.
It's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's like I remember the Xbox. Of course, you remember the Xbox 360 and the Red Ring of Death and all that stuff, right? I said any other company who released a product where I think statistically 60% of the consoles would break. Yeah, and my 360 broke twice. First of all, Microsoft said, "Oh, we'll fix it for free. Yeah, use our broken ass product. I'm sorry, send it off. We'll fix it for free." "Oh, thanks, Microsoft. Yeah, I really do like your Xbox, I swear." And then it breaks like a few months later, and they're like, "Yeah, pay me £50 now, motherfucker." I fix it again.
Clocked it. What are you talking about? 60%. Xbox, Microsoft specifically said it was 33% of consoles. That's utter bullshit.
Even 33% is ridiculous.
That's bad enough, but that 60% is definitely a lot closer.
The problem is people are used to taking mediocre quality now. Motherfuckers expect shit to break. It's like, well, what's the big deal? It wasn't like you were expecting a perfect launch, were you, bruh? the game is fucked up, the limited edition is fucked up, and we had to get on their asses for them to give us what? $5?
Who are these people who are like,
how dare you?
They'll fix it. Oh, they'll fix it later. You weren't expecting a perfect launch. Bitch, I was expecting what I paid for. Is that too much to ask for?
It's called being in an abusive relationship. That's what it is.
Can you imagine? I mean, imagine something like this happened during the Wii U era with Nintendo. Let's just say Animal Crossing. God. Like, let's say Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival released and it was broken like Fallout. Could you imagine the amount of backlash around it? Just people just have fun chewing out Nintendo full stop.
Be a meme today.
But it's almost like now. It's almost like people have forgotten and forgiven Bethesda already.
It's too bad. I forgot Retro sent in his laptop because he had one dead pixel, I think.
Yeah,
so
he mentioned
I forgot he wasn't going to be on tonight because he sent that laptop back. And he, you want to know the type of people that love Bethesda? Just look no further than Retro Death. That tells you everything you need to know.
Bethesda syndrome. Bethesda syndrome.
I never.
Let me just say real quick, the irony of that is that he sent his laptop back for one dead pixel.
Mm-hmm.
But if that happened at Bethesda game, he'd be making 1,000 excuses for that. Oh, that didn't bother me when I was playing the game.
My character's missing a leg. My character's missing a leg. That's okay. It's okay. I like those bugs, man. They make the games more fun.
I'll pick the bugs because in Skyrim, everywhere I go, there's a town and a person talking.
God damn.
This is what happens when you don't make the podcast.
Yeah, sorry, Retro. I don't know if he's going to listen back to this, but
don't do it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, I've never really. I don't think I've played a Bethesda developed game. I've just played the one.
What was he published?
A couple published games. And,
you didn't play Skyrim at all, right?
No.
Wow.
So it just, and then didn't they like leak or somehow people's addresses and shit got out?
Oh yeah. Oh
my god, yeah.
I didn't really look into it. I didn't look into it at all. I saw the headline. That was it.
Yeah, all the people who sent their details back to say, yo, my bag is wiggity whack, man. You know what I'm saying? Give me a new bag. They leaked all those details as well. It's just a joke.
What a mess, yo.
And this isn't like this is some new company. They've been around a while. Like, they've made pretty big games. How can you be making these kind of mistakes this late in the game?
Corporate greed. That's what that cheap bag was all about. It's corporate greed. $200. I'm sure they're still making at least 50% of that's profit, if not more. Probably more than that.
Yeah, but I think it's more.
They still gotta just try to get every fucking penny.
Well, I don't see what's the problem, Juice. I don't see what the problem is.
It's smart business.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's a hustle. It is a hustle, but the problem is that it's a hustle that anybody can call you out on because you're sending it to hundreds of people or thousands. And guess what? You got caught, bitch.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking shame.
And it makes me almost, it's not id Software's fault that Bethesda publishes their Doom games, but it does make me kind of want to maybe wait for a price drop just so that Bethesda doesn't make as much off of Doom Eternal.
Yeah, but I don't feel like that's fair to Doom.
I know, but
if the Doom games suffer because of it, that's a different story. But if the games are good, there ain't no issues, no bugs and shit. You get a clean game. Me in good conscience, I can't do that to a solid developer for the fuck of it.
That's just
because of a publisher.
It's just gonna make me feel just a little dirty buying that day one full price, but I probably will on PC. I'll switch version if I will be later. But anyway, let's talk about another great, exciting topic, and that is
it's not dirty.
The Game Awards happened.
No, I'll talk about it.
And we all overestimated Nintendo's announcements, not games coming to Switch, but Nintendo themselves. Even though I was correct, I thought one of them would be Smash related, and then that was the only one. But let's start with just the overall show with the world premieres. It felt a lot like Xbox One exclusive. Xbox launch exclusive. You're seeing world premieres left and right. And how many of them, A, do you remember? And B, how many actually made you like, oh, wow, that's cool. I'm glad that's exciting. So
is it bad that the ones that stick in my mind the most are the Nintendo ones? Is that bad?
Go ahead, Terrell. What overall thoughts on the Game Awards and
long as shit, too fucking long. Still has the same dumbass problem of putting game awards like, oh yeah, by the way, best RPG goes to this person, and here goes. That's tough. Now let's get some famous people out here to give some awards and shit. It's so fucking dragged out because there's so many ads and so much promotion going around. And to be fair, that's kind of unfortunate. That's what it's turned into. He's essentially turned the Game Awards into like a bullshit version of E3. Mm-hmm. Although it's really sad when people looked at that picture of Reggie and Phil and Sean all together, and then they each had their own little announcements. Fucking
sickening.
And then like you could see the disparity between the groups because like Nintendo had something to show. Sony was just kind of chilling because it was winning a bunch of awards. And Xbox was like, we got some games coming to Game Pass. That's a whole nother thing. That was kind of funny. I don't know. The show, it was just mediocre as fuck. The announcements, a lot of them are a lot of minor indie titles. And that's not, I understand that they're indie titles and shit, but like, it's not anything I want to take breaks. I don't feel like the awards should be shelved into this corner where they're only mentioned in passing and shit. And you got the fucking winners standing off in the corner because they already know.
Yeah, they're standing just off camera for those early awards.
So it's like they already fucking know. And then there's also not consistency between the fucking awards. Like, for example, how is it the Red Dead's winning all these fucking awards, but God of War is the game of the year? What? So God it didn't have the best narrative. It didn't have the best art style. It didn't have the best soundtrack. But it's the best. But it's the game of the year.
That doesn't make any damn sense, does it?
It's not consistent.
I can understand why Red Dead maybe had one narrative because it's probably more story involved. That God of War doesn't have that much of a story actually overall.
But that was the big talking point about God of War's the story.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what people talked about when you play the game.
Yeah, but people didn't talk about that though.
Yeah, no one's going back talking about the game. Said, "Oh, do you remember that level where you had to walk and then you try to roll past the flames?"
People talking about, I love Atreus and I love Kratos. They're fucking great. That's what they said. I love when he says "boy." I love it.
If I may be a spell snob, it reminds me of that year. I think it was 84, 85, when Brazil beat.
You're actually committing to this, all right?
Brazil beat The Color Purple. Like nobody remembers fucking Brazil that movie, but everybody remembers Color Purple. And
damn straight.
And there was no. I think it got nominated for like 7 or something Oscars and then won nothing. And it was just like this movie got nominated for 7 different Oscars, but it was beat by a film that was only nominated for 1. Like it just didn't make any. It doesn't make any sense.
What about
why? We know why.
Let me just keep the movie trivia going.
Of course you will.
What movie beat Avatar for Best Picture?
Oh God, I was just talking about that. I'm not going to answer because I know. But
anybody have any idea? I'll give you a hint. It was a war. It was a war movie.
A war movie.
And it starred an Avenger.
Oh, it was directed by Avatar's director's ex-wife. If that helps.
Jack Gates got it. The Hurt Locker.
Hurt Locker. Yeah.
I remember that movie, but I didn't know that one.
Yeah,
I swear. me and my wife were just talking about this like last night.
It was on first viewing. I thought it was pretty good. On second viewing, I was pretty bored. I got to be honest.
Nobody remembers the Hurt Locker anymore. Nobody remembers.
I only recognize the title. That's literally it. I don't even. I can't. If you show me the cover, I wouldn't even fucking know what it is.
So anyway, back to movie.
But Avatar won best cinematography though, which made no damn sense either.
Well, see, and this is the reason why people kept saying these awards don't really mean shit. This is just an excuse for everybody to come out and whore out for a little bit because there's no consistency. The shit don't make no sense, and half of the awards aren't even a focus.
Yeah, and like some of the what I would consider bigger awards got quick little rundowns by Jeff in between. And
yeah, exactly. It just drove me nuts. I'm like, what's the? And this shit's like 3 hours. Like, who the fuck? I think it went from like, what was it, like 8:30 to fucking midnight almost.
3.5 hours.
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? And then all it really boiled down to was a few noteworthy game announcements, like Mortal Kombat. The Smash announcement was pretty big. I don't even remember much else than that, to be real with you. Shit, I don't think that shit was worth it, yo. He needs to cut that shit down and link. The only thing that I was honestly surprised about, we didn't see any Kojima. I was like, holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
No Death Stranding. He did mention he's a very close friend.
Yo, of course he's gonna mention it. I'm like, I'm surprised we didn't see that motherfucker show up at all.
He smelled his finger before he said that. My very close friend.
Marvel. I remember that.
Well, here's the thing. You hit it right on the head. If your world premieres are some brand new indie team making an indie game no one gives two shits about,
or announcing their Kickstarter.
Hey, we just then they talk to them. So you guys, this is a new team. Yeah, we all had backgrounds in AAA titles, but we just wanted to make our own game. That's not world premiere fucking material.
No, it's not.
Every one of those types of games, unless it's from Team Cherry, the guys who brought you Hollow Knight, their next game, or something, a successful game, the guys who made Shovel Knight, who I forget their name. If their next game, that would be, if it's going to be an indie game, it'd have to be on that level for, in my opinion, to even bother. All the other ones, I mean, Mortal Kombat, that's a decent game.
Wait, we forgot about T's favorite game. I know he's excited for Psychonauts 2, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, that's at least a bigger title. I say cut all the small indie games out, get rid of all that bullshit because it doesn't help your show in any way. It doesn't make it the biggest gaming event of the year. It doesn't make it even close to an E3 event. And replace that with giving more focus to best RPG should be on stage with somebody presenting. An RPG legend or something should be out presenting the award to somebody. And I think it would be a better video game show for video game fans.
And cut all the esports shit out of that.
Yeah.
When he ran down, how are the esports getting more play than some of these?
Well, he ran down
genres.
He just ran down those 3-4 awards in a row. He just went down.
I was surprised with some of them, and I think the major ones ended up still getting like stage attention.
I don't think any of them got a stage other than entertain or content creator of the year or something. I don't think any of the esports got a.
No, because the top esports player got one, and
that was it. I think that was the only one on stage.
There was one more, but I don't remember. It's fine.
Because all the rest of them didn't really have a person to come out. And best esports coach, no one even cheered during the nominees because no one knew who the hell they were.
Yeah, like I don't like that really overtly niche shit when there's no point in it.
Yeah,
like how isn't that weird that they have that like a coaching thing when they don't have something like the best RPG like that? That's way bigger. The hell, like that.
Well, they announced. Didn't they let the?
They announced that.
They announced Jeff, wasn't it? Just Jeff announcing it, and then
Jeff just casually announced the Monster Hunter World. By the way, how fucking dare you?
That doesn't make any sense.
And here's the person. They happen to be standing right here off camera.
So we knew they already won.
They knew, yeah. And I don't know. I just think he's more worried about the amount of quote unquote world premieres, the number.
Well, this is
quantity over quality.
I can see what the game show has become. Has the Game Awards has become. It's become. It's not an award show anymore. It's just a giant advertising revenue. So the awards don't mean anything because, as you can see, the awards people got. Many of them they didn't really deserve it, or it made no sense. It's like if you went to any other award show, can you imagine going to the Oscars and just like after every single award, now let's watch the new trailer for this. Like the audience have to see the trailer, or you go to the literature awards, and it's just like, yep. And Frank Howard has now released his new book. He's going to read to you for 2 minutes the first few pages, and he stands on stage reading the first few pages of his fucking book. No other award show.
Let me defend that. I'm going to defend that, and I'll explain why. Because the pomp and circumstance of a regular quote-unquote award show like Oscars or a Golden Globe or something like that, that doesn't work for gamers, right?
Yeah, because they tried that on Spike.
Right. So you have to give us some new game announcements and all that stuff, because we're gonna be sitting there like, what the fuck is that? We don't care about that stuff. We're gamers. We want games. Yeah, game of the year, that's a cool thing to give this money. But other than that, nobody really cares that much about these little individual awards. You have some people who nerd out about this stuff, best voice actor and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, nobody remembers that stuff and nobody cares. So I have no problem with them focusing on game announcements or stuff like that, but let the game announcements be something that I actually care about, or people that aren't these little indie things, which I like indie games, but they're not the games that excite gamers for like a big award show announcement. You know what I'm saying?
And they've had bigger games in the past. They've had bigger game announcements. I mean, Bayonetta 3 last year, that's not like a huge casual friendly type of game, but for Nintendo to reveal Bayonetta 3's existence at the Game Awards is a pretty big event, or pretty big announcement for Nintendo fans.
If I may, you may give me the floor really quickly to talk about my Nintendo insiderness, because I want to clarify, because I talked to you guys about, because I explained that I had some Nintendo insider information, so I want to go over that now that it's out. Well, at least one of the things is out, and a couple of things that didn't happen, and how people are making excuses. Some of the other insiders are making excuses about it. So the one thing, remember I told you guys, this is
months ago
off air, off air, that there was going to be an IP that was going to give a Bayonetta-like impact when Bayonetta 2 was announced exclusively for the Wii U, and how impactful that was. And I told you guys there was going to be something similar to that. Have you figured out what that game is?
I'm guessing the Marvel game.
Alliance? Or?
Yeah, it's Marvel Ultimate Alliance. That's the game that was supposed to have that, but I don't think it really had that.
No.
It didn't seem like it had that impact that I thought it was going to have, but that was
I thought it was the Marvel game.
I did go look online. There are some like legit Marvel gaming fans who were like,
yeah, there's some saltiness about it I've seen.
Yes, dude, they are mad. Like, why the fuck I got to buy a Nintendo system for it?
So that's what so that came true. That was true. Now the other thing that didn't come true that I see a lot of the other insiders making excuses about is Metroid Prime Trilogy. I told you guys that was going to be a thing, right? Did I tell you that? I did tell you.
I don't know.
I didn't tell you.
I don't think you told us.
Oh, I thought I told you that.
Yeah, I knew.
Okay, Metroid Prime Trilogy was.
Well, good for you, Cockton. I'm glad you knew.
I got connections too, man. I got connections.
That was announced, and if you notice, some of the insider-ish YouTubers are like, "Oh, they ran out of time. Maybe the timing wasn't right," and so I find that to be kind of funny. But yeah, so there is some truth to this insiderness, if you will. So I guess you have to give it some credence. But I just want to share that because I'm a Nintendo insider.
Wow.
So real quick. Because I think you're a Marvel Ultimate Alliance fan, the older game.
Oh yeah.
Because I thought this was the Switch version of the mobile game that I've seen on advertised on TV. And I'm watching the trailer now, and it doesn't look a whole lot beyond a mobile game visually. So I don't know.
You have to go. The thing is, those Ultimate Alliance games all kind of have that same kind of art style, like same kind of look.
Well, that and just the gameplay. Like I think if you're used to those kind of licensed games, you're used to that annoying ass circle under their feet.
Yeah. Like, they all have that. If you go look at the other ones, they have.
Yeah, and you're gonna like because for me, as soon as I saw it, I didn't realize it was Marvel Ultimate Alliance. But when I saw the circle, I was like, oh shit, is this one of those fucking like cash-in games where it's like, oh look, here's a popular IP. Can we do something with this?
Yeah,
and then it wasn't until like, well, this looks way better than like a normal budget game. So
those are really fun games. They never were like the most graphically crazy games. It was, but they are fun to play. Like, so I will vouch for that. Yeah, visually it's not super impressive, but I mean I think it's still pretty impressive that you have an IP as big as Marvel exclusively on the Switch.
Hey, look, that means Nintendo has a game that has Wolverine in it.
So I just remembered, technically, didn't they have an exclusive Marvel game on the Wii U?
Did they?
You remember that exactly? Don't you?
Oh, was that exclusive?
I think so. I don't remember that ever being on 360 and shit.
What was the game?
It was like a launch title or some shit. It was
I forgot what it was called.
It was like Marvel something. And it was I think it was trash.
I'm looking at a 9-year-old video of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 review.
It's been that long.
And from the thumbnail, the videos, I'm waiting for a commercial to end. Okay, yeah, this must have been early PS 9 years ago.
Yeah, like
it doesn't look great. A while ago. They reported it to PS4, and it actually looks pretty good. I'd say it looks better than that Switch version of 3, but
wow.
I was just trying to, because to me, I always felt like these were decently looking games for the generations they were on. I always thought they were pretty good looking games because of the, the perspective, and you're kind of zoomed out. So I always thought they looked pretty good for their, for their generation.
Robert, that game you're talking about was a download only game, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure I had a physical copy. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Unforgiven said it's called Battle for Earth.
It was Marvel Superhero Squad. No, I don't remember the name.
Just had me dying, yo.
So, Clock, did you watch the Game Awards? Because I know it was on pretty late.
No, I didn't watch it live, but over the time, I've gone back and trickle my way through it. And I'm glad I didn't stay up and watch it because it was just long. It was fucking.
It wasn't worth it.
Crash,
it was not worth it.
And even like when you accumulated all of the announcements, together afterwards, I think, collectively there was nothing, really staggering or mind blowing. So I'm glad I never watched it live. But yeah, I'm going to defend my stance a bit as well about what I said, about all these trailers and stuff for the Game Awards, because this is technically the only big award show that gaming has, and if they can't take the time to show you the people, and for gamers to get to know the people who actually make their games instead of trying to brush them off with some world premieres for games that's all they're going to remember. We're meant to be taking this time to remember and get to know these people. I think they should spend more time on bigging up these awards instead of trying to engage people with tons of world premieres that can be saved for game shows and Nintendo Directs and all that stuff. So, but it's just
shout out to Unforgiven. He gave me the game on Twitter. It's called Marvel Avengers Battle for Earth.
Yeah,
and it doesn't look that great.
It's awful. It's terrible. It's worse than
but it's an exclusive Wii U Marvel game that flopped.
That's such a weird. I love the way Robert described that shit.
AK, to be fair,
it doesn't look visually. It doesn't look horrendous, but the game.
I guess that's the other thing we need to bring up. We do know who the developer is for.
Oh, that's right, Team Ninja.
That could work. They're known for their action games.
That's a name, though. That's
I can fuck with that.
Yeah, I would fuck with it. Yeah,
maybe not.
But fine. So it wasn't an exclusive. Jack Gates is saying it wasn't an exclusive.
It wasn't on what? What was it on then?
I don't know.
Everything else.
So let's get Shadow Fox's thoughts. Did you watch any of the Game Awards?
Yes, I watched the Game Awards with some fellow members for Gamers at Large, and we kind of laughed at the entire event. It was underwhelming to say the least. And our takeaway was a guitar player of an unknown name at this point.
The guitar chick.
Yes,
was the best part of the show.
That was the best part of the show, unfortunately. But yeah,
was that for the Smash Bros?
No, that was, or was that Smash? Yeah, that was Smash, wasn't it?
Well, then she came out again later.
What the fuck is this?
Towards the end, they all kind of came out and performed or whatever. So
yeah,
I'm gonna look up footage for this game.
I don't know if you heard Shadow when we were talking, but we're talking about how Jeff Keighley just kind of filled with quote unquote world premieres, and that were just basically small first time indie teams making indie games no one cared about.
Pretty much.
They barely couldn't even show much footage for, and then making what, like Clocked was saying, what should be a major category like best RPG or best action adventure game or something that just quickly gets mentioned. Oh, by the way, God of War also won Best Action Adventure Game, whatever it won. I forget what else it won, but they just mentioned it. Didn't even give it a rundown. And so what do you think? What do you think the show would be? How would you make it better if you're given some creative freedom with it?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Unfortunately, I think that Jeff was playing the cards that he was dealt. Because you're talking about Sony and Microsoft. Sony just blew their wad this year already. They're ready for PlayStation 5. We already know Microsoft is not doing anything until their next generation hardware comes out. So there was nothing in terms of a world premiere that could come from either one of those companies unless it came from third party. And like, I don't want to see Anthem again. I'm pretty sure they don't want to show Anthem again.
I think they did though.
They did show Anthem again.
Yeah, it was the ad one though, wasn't it? It wasn't just a commercial.
No, they showed.
They showed it.
It wasn't the same. It wasn't the same reveal that was at E3.
No, they showed some stories. They showed story character interaction, so you learned a little bit about the world and the story.
Very underwhelming.
Yeah, it wasn't anything good.
Yeah, I remember that now. That was the where they were trying to find.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, I remember that now. But yeah, I don't really see. That's all he really had though. So there was nothing for him.
Why have all this breaks for these world premieres if you don't have any real world premiere footage?
I guess that's who had the money to pay for them. I guess at the time they're like, hey, we want to show this early game. And he's like,
I don't know. Some of those teams
are going to get the exposure. So
some of those companies are struggling to keep the lights on. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know that they're paying. I don't know that some of those would have the money to pay him, or if they're just friends of his. Yeah, but still, he's got to think about.
So is that the kindness of his heart? Then I guess I don't know, because that's kind of. There were still commercials in the middle of it, which was really weird.
Yeah, I don't see some first-time indie team.
Well,
maybe we're wrong.
The main problem is that it's Western focused. Like it just
so
heavily Western focused. Like if you actually dug into some of these other studios that aren't only in this region, you might have some really cool, compelling stuff. I'm sure these guys would love for you to show their stuff on a big show like that, where they can get some shine. Like a lot of these smaller Japanese studios.
Oh, didn't Capcom say something when Monster Hunter World won? Somehow there was supposed to be some news in the next.
Oh, the next day they said, yeah.
What the? I don't even remember anything even.
I saw it. Witcher 3 crossover.
Yeah.
What crossover?
Witcher 3 crossover.
Oh god! All right, yeah, move on.
They've also just announced. Announced an expansion for it as well.
So even some of these Japanese companies have a Western focus.
Well, I mean that's the reason why I brought. I think was that last week I brought all that shit up about how because the Japanese gaming industry isn't making as much money anymore that some of them have shifted to that Western style development, which has worked out for some people. I mean, Square seems to be fucking fine, and Capcom is like, yeah, we're good. This is smaller teams that are going to struggle.
They just lost 30 million. I don't know how much it's working for them.
So for me, like I've already said, I would have cut half of those fake world premieres out completely, because if it ain't worthy or exciting and it's a studio no one knows, unless that's your best friend and you want to give them some publicity, I still would cut it out. Give a few more. Some of the bigger awards, don't skip them. Just have somebody on stage, have somebody accept. Because some people were genuinely seemed excited about winning an award. Some of the developers actually seem to take it to heart pretty well.
Everyone's like the Celeste
and then maybe take all the best like soundtrack of the year nominees and get a band or somebody to do like a cool version of each song, and have a musical performance for each of the nominees or something for best soundtrack or something.
Well, that's what they did, didn't they?
They did one for Devil May Cry 5. And
they did like a mix of one.
The orchestra did a little something. I think I was gone by then. I went to the midnight release of Smash.
Oh man, but they were playing the entire night. You heard music from.
I will say the music selection has gotten better. I didn't think they needed to spend that much time on. Guys, here's the game. Here's the Video Game Awards official theme done by the Video Game Orchestra.
Yeah, and that lasted 30 seconds.
There was a lot of music cuts for some reason.
And that's what pissed me off. It's like how you have all these cuts as making the show unnecessarily bloated and shit.
oh man, we still got tons of show left. It's like 11:30. He's like, yeah, we still got plenty of show left.
We're just like, when is this bitch gonna end?
And it was literally 4 hours long. It really was.
It was shorter than last year.
Was it?
Yeah, last year's.
I don't believe that.
This didn't officially
because
they did the pre-show
30 and ended at midnight.
They did the pre-show.
I didn't realize that was the pre-show.
So the official show started at 9, and it ended just before midnight. So that's 3 hours, and with the pre-show, it's 3.5. So I guess it was about the same as last year.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that different.
But if you cut it down to 2 or 2.5, then that's probably just cutting more awards out. And it's like, why even have so many categories then if you're going to have to skip through them?
Yeah, that's what I understand, because they added a bunch of those esports ones and then ran through them like water. And you were like, well, then why did you even add them in the first place?
It just seemed to me like the soundtracks and having the band up there, those were glorified ads too, and they needed those to pay the bills. That just seemed like that's what was happening to me.
I think it's more than paying the bills at this point. I think it's making him. I think he's making tons of money on it now.
Yeah, it's pandering. I mean, for God's sakes, we had a Red Dead 2 performance after that motherfucker had just got the award.
If a studio pays for it, if he's selling those slots and they pay for it, then they're going to play their music during that time.
Well, of course, but it doesn't flow well on the fucking.
No, it doesn't. I'm just saying that he's.
Oh, taking I understand. Yeah.
I never want to defend Jeff, but like, taking what he was given, because like there's nothing. Look at what he had to work with. Like all the games that we saw, everything that he showed, he knew that months ahead of time and had to make a show with that. Tell me what you would have done and that's all you had.
You got to get creative.
Yeah, you got to get creative and also cut some of the fat, because it was a bunch of fat.
It was a lot of fat, but I think he had to keep the same time slot.
I just want to mention this real quick because we probably won't bring it up later anyway. Marvel Spider-Man got robbed so badly throughout this whole fucking thing. It didn't get one goddamn award.
I even forgot it was up for an award.
Yeah, it was up for like 6 or 7 damn awards.
It should at least got soundtrack, I think.
God of War only got 2. Like, Jesus Christ. All right, but go ahead, move on. Sorry.
Did it even get nominated for soundtrack?
It did.
It did? Okay.
It did. So did Octopath. Now I saw that one.
We know Octopath went.
We ain't even talk about it, bro.
We talked about how Monster Hunter would win.
How fucking dare they?
You remember how we said that? Because if it's up for Game of the Year,
we were saying
how would it not win Best RPG?
It is the least RPG on that fucking list. And I sat there and I remember I looked at it and they said Monster Hunter World. I said you could have gave it to any other game and I would have been fine. Fucking
Blade Chronicles 2 gets snubbed, so Monster Hunter.
How fucking dare you?
They even released Torna so it would count.
Right.
in case you were confused, Torna's here too.
It's not like they haven't like given awards for DLC at this stupid ass show because they've done that.
And Torna's a complete game.
It just drove me fucking nuts. I can't believe that shit. I would have rather you given it to Dragon Quest 11. That's a fucking game. God damn it.
Didn't Red Dead win soundtrack?
Yeah, Red Dead.
Like I heard some. I was like, that's
I thought it was going to win game of the year too. I really thought I think
the only reason why it didn't is because it won so many other.
We thought it was going to win everything, but
logically, it should have won. If you win all these separate awards, that means you have the best game.
Yeah, that happens at the Oscars too. Best director, best screenplay win. A movie will win both those, but not win Best Picture of the Year.
Like, how do you even pick best director? Like, how do you know?
Direction. Can you imagine the Capcom team going, the Monster Hunter team going back to Japan and then going up the square going, we've got a better RPG than you.
And they're like, yeah, we know, it's Breath of Fire.
That's
what they should say. It ain't Monster Hunter, it's Breath of Fire.
Didn't God of War win Best Direction? If I'm remembering?
It won Best Action Game and Game of the Year.
That's you sure? Because I was thinking that one camera pan was what got it the award because
that one shot,
the one shot.
Let me pull up the winners, but I'm pretty sure God of War only won 2 awards, and
that's true. That's another thing that everyone, we were all praising. Oh, one shot, and they didn't.
I can tell you that one shot. If no one had told, if somebody hadn't noticed it, bet you 95% of people would have never even knew. Because it doesn't stand out because you die so damn much if you're playing on the harder difficulty.
Yeah, that's the thing is that
it was just a gimmick.
You're looking at a loading screen anyway, so.
I'm lying. It won Best Game Direction.
Yeah, that's what I thought because I think it was for that one camera angle one camera shot or whatever.
Right.
And then I think Red Dead won narrative, music, audio design, and what was the other one?
Performance.
Yeah, best performance, and trying to make sure that was it because they won like 3 or 4 fucking awards.
Won like 3 in a row at one point. Where like
it was so jarring because we were like, guys, just why didn't you just slam all these together?
And the soundtrack, I mean, it's like, oh, that's a decent little take on a Western soundtrack, but come on, best soundtrack?
Yeah, that's a bunch of bullshit.
I was thinking Detroit was going to win best game direction though. If it's anything like any of Cage's other stuff, like
I was actually surprised they even threw him up there and then just disrespect. Oh, and I guess
even win best narrative.
And remember, Forza Horizon 4 is still the best sports game.
Can someone explain to me what best game direction even means? Can someone explain that to me?
I don't know.
I'm guessing it's more of a cinematic category.
Yeah, because to me, that's not game direction. To me, game direction is the entire project.
Because I would think the narrative and direction would be kind of in the same boat.
Breath of the Wild won best direction last year.
Yeah,
and as a game director, you know, it's the overall game and decisions and choices made in the game. I would think
it would make sense for. I would if I made that as a category, that's what I would be talking about. So Breath of the Wild winning that, I could see that, but nah, you can't just say I'm going to put Red Dead Redemption or God of War up in here, and then you're like, well, but these are also Rans. What did you do differently to the entire game? I know God of War is mechanics are different and everything, and Red Dead Redemption shouldn't be up there at all. Like it's GTA, legit GTA.
It seems, you know, that they wanted to give Red Dead something, so they gave it that minor stuff.
And for some reason, the art direction went to this random game that no one ever fucking heard of.
Red Dead won best narrative. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Best score.
That score to me was the one. But anyway, let's not give this damn award show any more attention.
Yeah, man, I'm just mad. Yeah.
So I wanna give a little I don't know the word for it, but a week in the PlayStation Classics life. I've been to Best Buy 3
You're gonna keep fucking with this console. I'm surprised how much you keep fucking with this console.
You need to pimp that Juice Opinions video.
I ended up at the launch on launch day at Best Buy because I had last week off. An hour and a half after Best Buy opens, they have 2 full displays, looked untouched. I took some pictures. Of course, a few people got defensive because there was an Xbox One S in the photo, a big pile. Like, oh, I guess Xbox Ones aren't selling. Well, the Xbox One didn't really sell that well. So, yeah, you're kind of right. Then someone did a PS4 stack. Like, oh, I guess PS4 is not selling. I'm like, are you guys serious? Those systems.
And by the way, those systems been out 5 years.
5 years.
I said, new hotness.
This is launch day and then someone's like, well, the NES Classic there was only 3 available at my store. Well, yeah, GameStop's only had 3, but Best Buy's I believe had 10, 12.
And it's also because they're selling so many, they have to spread them out thin to everybody when they get up.
So I go back to Best Buy for the midnight launch, and I look at the same displays, and there was 1 PS Classic missing from the 2 stacks. And then I go back today, and they removed the upfront one because right when you walk in, now that's just Switches and Xbox and PlayStations. They removed the PlayStation Classic. I meant PS4s. And they put them all in one, and now it's just one big, like 5 foot tall pile of PS1 classics. And if I count it, I took a photo, but if I count it, I bet they didn't sell another one. That's my theory. And it's just like,
the attention to detail is hilarious.
It's just another how do you put it? Another example of Sony copying what Nintendo was doing, but just quite not getting getting all the way there. You know, like
no, these motherfuckers didn't come close.
And what kills me is they probably spent more money because Nintendo did it because look, we keep all these parts around for years and we reuse them for other shit. And they're like, well, let's make this console and come out with that. And then they made money off of that. Sony probably spent extra money to go back and get all that old R&D just to create that shell and start all over again. And
I don't think they spent much money
really?
on it at all.
I don't think they spent. That's the problem. Is they didn't spend enough money on the thing.
Yeah, I mean, think about it.
I don't think they had old PS1 controller shells anymore.
But still, they went and took the fucking PAL versions of games instead of just getting the US. Actually, I feel like.
Well, that's fine, but you know, you can find. I mean, Chinese knockoffs. And I don't know how much the quality. I'm sure the quality is better of PS1 controllers for what, $10. So I mean, even if they had to go and do and manufacture them all, so I don't think it would have been that much more expensive for them.
I think they spent more than Nintendo did because Nintendo already had them.
Well, yeah, obviously because Nintendo still keeps that stuff, but they but the problem is they didn't spend enough on
producing it.
Right. Like that's
and I didn't know the PAL versions. I thought that was just in Europe people complaining. I didn't know those versions
across the board. You got that wrong. Yep.
And then you got, like I said in my Juice Opinions, you got all these YouTubers buying them, and basically the majority of the sales are probably these guys who know that they're going to get a shit ton of views if they're bashing the PlayStation Classic, and they have a thumbnail with them opening the system or something because people love
looking sad.
They love to, the hype of the negative or positive hype.
I saw a guy with 40,000 subscribers had 500,000 views on his PS1 Classic bashing video. I'm like, goodness.
Hey guys, I just got the PS1 Classic. Let's open it up and check it out.
So in that, it's probably worth it for them. They're going to make money and a bunch of subs off that, but still, it's like you're buying this piece of shit, knowing it's a piece of shit, giving Sony that money, and to me, I can't do that. Like,
hey, somebody needs to go find that gift that I keep posting every time when I say them fucking clicks, son, and they got a picture of the dude with all that damn money on his ear.
It never ends with you.
Hey man, hey, that's how life is, man. You gotta get them damn clicks, man. Gotta do it. Gotta happen. These beers ain't free.
Anybody in the chat? Anybody in the group here? Did you see any PlayStation Classics in stores?
Oh yeah,
they sold out.
Nobody bought one either. Nobody typed F.
Are we gonna bring up the Soulja Boy console?
Oh yeah, no!
They in the chat being savage.
I forgot about that. And I thought that was a joke. I thought motherfuckers were lying. Like, no, man,
that should be a joke, but it's not.
Not a joke.
That is the weirdest fucking thing.
It is really fucking weird.
Yeah, Soulja Boy's Chinese console.
It only plays Soulja Boy games though. That's all right.
If you just emulate shit, like you could really just do that in house here. You don't have to go to fucking China to get them to build.
It doesn't make sense. Oh all around, it doesn't make sense.
No idea what you guys are talking about, and I don't
want. Oh, really? You don't?
Well, Soulja Boy.
Cue up the picture. Rapper. Show him the picture.
Oh yeah, I got it.
The rapper Soulja Boy released a console and a handheld.
He didn't release shit.
Well, he didn't first.
He just put his name on a Chinese knockoff that already existed.
His console going
Soulja Boy is not a rapper,
and he's selling it for $100, technically $200, and it's on sale for $150 though.
Even though it just came out,
and it says he'll play Switch games. He's
scamming people by calling this a console and by calling himself a rapper because those are both lies.
It's like the dumbest hustle I've ever seen in my life.
And he's
like motherfuckers who know better. Like you're literally selling a bootleg that you don't understand.
And
he tweeted about how good it was doing, didn't he?
Yeah. He said he says that I'm just a boy that's trying to dream and shit like that.
Man, get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here with that shit, man.
It's the dumbest shit, yo.
It's hilarious though.
It fucking blew me a fuck back that out of us. He already was irrelevant as a rapper. Like the moment his like main song dropped off the charts, and then we haven't heard from you in like years, and all of a sudden I'm putting out a video game console.
Yeah, guys. But you know what? The dude's a millionaire, yo.
Man, he's Superman. I will give him that. He had his 1 minute or 15 minutes of fame with that garbage song, and he's been hustling ever since. He hasn't gotten to that status again as far as like that song, but he's been using that to do all these little side robberies.
Soulja Boy is what I like to refer to as a basic bitch rapper. That's literally what he is.
Yeah.
Didn't he put on Lil Terrio?
I don't know.
Who's that?
But let's the little fat boy.
Anyway, we don't need to talk.
I want to talk about. I didn't want you to answer. I didn't want to.
Let's talk about this guy. Let's move along.
Focus back to video games, and I want to talk about Sonic the Teen Wolf Hedgehog movie poster. Why does that look like a hairy dude with a Sonic head in this?
All right, you want to have a conversation?
Sonic Unleashed Part 2.
Can I resident Sonic expert?
Yeah, let's have a fucking conversation. God damn it, fine. So I think IGN. I don't know if it was IGN, but that's where
they had they had talked to the creators or something.
They talked to the creators and they had this fucking teaser of here's Sonic Hedgehog. We got a few tidbits and notes about why they went a certain direction. Apparently, the fur was something they planned to do regardless because they just thought he doesn't look right without fur.
Yeah, but why does he look like a human?
Well, listen,
it's just weird.
Listen, I'm getting into it. Juice, you're so fucking impatient. Jesus Christ. Apparently, Sonic Team isn't completely happy about the direction they went with his design. Like, according to the interview, it was like, well, Sonic Team wasn't necessarily, especially with the eyes. The eyes, and that's what I'm very concerned about seeing. More than anything else, I can put up with fur. I can tolerate that, but apparently the eyes was a huge issue for Sonic Team, and they were like, I don't know, we really agree with the direction they went with, because realistically, for those who are into the Sonic, you know that technically Sonic only has one eye. It's just the way it's animated, it looks like two eyes, but realistically he has one eye, and they were like, we can't do that in 3D and shit. That shit'll look weird. So people are concerned. They also are essentially, for those who don't know what the plot of this movie is supposed to be, it's essentially just another fish out of water situation. Sonic ends up in the real world.
Oh my god!
It's a terrible idea.
Who the fuck thought that was a good idea?
He's also voiced by Ben.
The same people that directed the first Smurfs movie.
For those who are curious, he's being voiced by Ben Schwartz, which I like Ben Schwartz. And Dr. Robotnik is supposed to be Jim Carrey. For those who don't know that,
Jim Carrey could save this film. He could.
That's the problem.
Yeah, Jim Carrey was the first thing I heard about.
There were there's a few smidgets of things where I'm like, that's not too bad, all things considered. But like his design, which going into it, they were like, it would be weird. I'm quoting the producer here. It would be weird, and it would feel like he was running around in nude if he didn't have some sort of otter-like thing. That's the way they described it. It was always for us fur, and we never consider anything different. Supposedly, they have been talking about how they're trying to pay homage and try to remember what a modern-day Sonic would wear. And they apparently...
So they got him in close.
He's wearing something. I don't know if he's wearing something. Essentially, the design is based around like a realistic hedgehog mixed with what he looks like in his games. So that's why he's wearing like legit tennis shoes now instead of his ridiculous giant Michael Jackson shoes, because they're putting him in the real world. So they're trying to modernize his look for a modern audience. This
sounds terrible.
They're like, realistically, this is the most conflicted I've felt in a while, because realistically, there are a few things in here that are kind of cool, and how they're trying to pay homage to the games. At the same time, the plot is so bad. It's such a bad fucking plot, and no one likes this plot. They've done this with every old school thing ever. Chipmunks, same shit. No, Smurfs, same shit. Won't leave the stupid fish out of this shit. Is not funny. Well, I say that, and then they make millions of dollars off of these films. So I guess I'm wrong.
Why did it have to be? Why did it have to be Sonic going from whatever his world is to the real world? That's stupid. But then, if you're gonna do that, then why does he a human have a human body with fur on it?
Like I said, they tried to modernize him so he doesn't. Because realistically, if you look at the way Sonic looks in his games, even in Smash, his body does not make sense at all. His fucking shoes are huge.
Yeah, but who cares? It's fucking Sonic.
Oh yeah, but see, look, since he's cartoony, in a cartoon game, it doesn't really matter as much. But when you put him next to like a normal guy, and it doesn't. It's like, what was it? Wasn't that Woody Woodpecker film the same fucking way?
What does Garfield
look like Pikachu? Cat? Detective Pikachu. We just saw that shit.
Does Garfield look like a real cat in his movies? No.
All Sony had to do was team up with Disney and say, "Hey, that shit y'all did with Wreck-It Ralph, can we have that for like 2 hours?" And then
yes, please, dude. I hate how he's better represented in games he's not the star in. I mean, movies he's not the star in, than his actual fucking his own film. Like in Wreck-It Ralph and in even in the Progressive commercials he used to do and shit.
Yep.
That's a perfect representation of how Sonic should be. And they've essentially taken him and turned him into a. Actually, I think his eyes are probably gonna be fucking ridiculous. I'm so concerned about this face more than anything else. His body's gonna look weird regardless. But I hate they went for this weird. They actually went for like a werehog thing where he looks like half human, half hedgehog, and I'm like,
what about SpongeBob?
We'll see.
Like it's like, oh, we're gonna do some live action stuff with SpongeBob. They say that shit for the last 10 minutes of the movie. It was like, we out of here. We're not doing it.
You know why? People don't understand
with real people. It's gonna look stupid
because we still haven't learned that if we're gonna do this kind of shit, stop doing it with beloved franchises. All right, no one likes the fish out of water storyline that all plays the same fucking way.
You said beloved franchise. Sonic is.
Yeah,
loathed by a lot of people, apparently.
Don't do it.
Yeah, listen.
It's loathed by a lot of people.
Shut up.
I would say Sonic to some people is like
you have the word
Nintendo Switch Cloud to Mr. T.
Can I just say how hilarious it is, though? You see, like this poster looks so fake. Like it
looks like some
Fast and the Furious.
And then they're also talking about the speed effect, like how they're going to show off how fast he is. And
but it's so funny. It's so like the way they're marketing it.
You know what? Didn't Sega announce this some couple years ago or something?
Yeah, this is like this movie's been in the works for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, so they announced that they're going to go into their IPs and start making movies and stuff off of them.
I wish they would.
I thought it was a good idea. Here's the thing. Don't start with Sonic.
You know what a good one? You know what a good one would have made sense to do? And it already has realistic human characters in it. Knights.
I was gonna say Knights.
Yep. Knights would have made so much more fucking sense.
Like I want to direct Knights because I have a perfect idea for it, and the game already has the idea for it. If you know,
all it is Little Nemo again.
That would make more sense. I think Knights what translates better to a movie with live action people, obviously,
because it's based in dreams and shit,
right? So and you can still have the cool animated world of it. It just made more sense to go there and make that a success first, and then come back to Sonic or something like that.
And also because the problem is that Sonic already has enough issues in his own games in terms of not only gameplay. Right. I'm talking about continuity. There's like 4 or 5 different continuities for Sonic. I'm like, which one are you basing this shit off of? Because are you just making another fucking continuity? In which case,
you're not basing it on anything. Let's be fair.
You could have made the argument that they were basing this off of like Sonic 1, Sonic Adventure and shit.
I'll say it for everybody.
I guarantee you they're not.
Let me say it for everybody. I'll take a 90-minute Sonic Boom episode. I'll take that.
Well, actually, Sonic Boom's pretty funny.
Yes, I will take Sonic Boom 90 minutes if you're gonna make a movie.
You say Sonic Boom and my brain just shuts down. So.
I don't know. It
automatically just shuts down.
That makes it pretty good.
The
cartoons are pretty good.
Yeah, that may be true, but what I'm saying is
that game is that game is
I'm just saying bad. Like Sonic already has a really fucked up continuity by itself. If you were gonna do any of that shit, why not just do the Sonic Adventure? If we're gonna deal with humans anyway, do the Sonic Adventure route and just make the humans like cartoony and shit.
So weird. Shadow the Hedgehog. Oh my god.
Well, we don't talk about
Sonic 06.
We don't talk about that game either.
Robert's trying to tell us why he's excited for it.
Well, the reason I'm excited for it, honestly, is just because I want to see some stupid shit, and I think it's gonna be hilariously bad. You know what I mean? Where
it probably will be.
It's getting one of those movies that's so bad that it's funny. And maybe it will shock. Yeah, maybe it'll shock us. And it'll somehow be good, but like it just there's so many things like from the producer of the Fast and the Furious, like you're really trying to sell from that. Like it's just so random. Like
we're talking about the first movie, by the way. They're not talking about the Fast and the Furious series.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, they're not talking. Yeah, they try to get you with that bullshit too. It's just like.
I'm so mad.
Stupid. But second of all, you're only talking about the first movie, which was 10 million years ago.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's awesome.
The short version is that we're sad. We're all fucking sad right now.
Why are you showing this off when it comes out in November? Like next year. It's so weird. Like
you know why? You know why? Because Pikachu came out. Because Pikachu trailer.
And everybody loves it. And people are raving about it. And
That's so Japanese though.
Why do you think people got mad as fuck about someone made a joke of it on Twitter about didn't they release like a Marvel trailer or something during the same time Detective Pikachu's trailer came out?
They released Toy Story.
That's what it was. They released Toy Story, and Disney was mad, yo. Disney was mad and re-released like another fucking teaser, like the next.
That was a crap teaser anyway.
It was a bad teaser. It was a bad teaser.
Terrible.
So it was like that's what Nintendo movies will do. And granted, I wasn't that excited about Detective Pikachu to begin with, but that shit took the world by storm. Motherfuckers were like, we can't have this. We gotta get the marketing out now. Sonic realistically should have had really any.
Y'all should have took that deal at the time when Nintendo asked for a theme park. You're like, not in my Disney World. They're like, okay.
Yeah, they're gonna pay for that one. People don't.
Right, okay, we got to get on the Smash impressions. So.
Let me mute my mic.
You don't have the game.
So
no, not yet. No, long story.
So we I didn't realize it was so late. We got to get our Smash impressions. I was gonna have everybody give their first character reveal or unlock.
Oh,
but the fact that everybody got Ness first, pretty much, unless I don't know any circumstances.
Wait. I got Sonic first.
I got Sonic first as well.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, if you play classic mode with Mario, you got Sonic as your first character.
So
that makes sense.
It was a little less random than I was hoping, but I guess who wants to go first and give their impressions of Super Mario Brothers Super Smash Brothers Ultimate?
That's next month.
Rob got the most.
It is next month. I forgot about
yes, it is. It's next month.
Rob has the most time in the game, so why don't you go first?
So I haven't played this much since probably Zelda or Odyssey. I played so much that I guess maybe I got sick, and that's why I have a sore throat. But like I love.
That's what you were doing.
I love it. It feels even more refined than Smash Wii U, and the added characters. King K. Rool is fucking awesome, and these guys hate when I play King K. Rool, but I love him. He's a great guy.
And he will be nerfed.
You think? People, what I've seen, a lot of people aren't even talking about King K. Rool. They're talking about like some other different characters, like Inkling. They think Inkling is fucking amazing. So I don't know. Maybe you got to learn more because I do really like Inkling. I love playing as Inkling. The whole World of Light isn't exactly the great thing that I was hoping it'd be. That's a bit of disappointment, but I do love the classic mode. The classic mode is awesome. The fact that you got all these really cool bosses at the end of each different character. Of course, you'll have repeats for some, but like it's really damn cool. The classic mode, and even like playing with computers is actually a lot better than in Wii U to me. Because like in Wii U, it seems like they were like literally they would frame perfectly. They would do all these things super perfect. While they're still kind of like that in Smash Ultimate, they seem a bit more realistic and they seem more like human players. Like they will jump off the edge and actually do shit off the edge. It's pretty crazy. And I like playing with computers like on tournament mode. I like doing the tournaments. I did a bunch of those. I tried the one I think it's called Smash Showdown or some shit where you have the where you would basically pick each.
Who the fuck is on their Switch?
You would pick one character and then you'd remove them.
I wish that.
What
if that only was in the arena? So
if that was
like it's King K. Rool.
So awesome. Oh no, well okay, but to be fair, we could kind of do it ourselves. We could just say, all right,
that is true.
Cross it off. You can't pick that next. Which we should do. And then the online is crazy smooth. It's crazy smooth.
People have been dogging it.
I've seen people trashing it, but no one in the U.S. I've only seen European and Australian.
So they don't matter.
No, I'm just saying. But everybody I've seen complain about it were in Europe or one guy was in Australia. So I don't know if that's related to the region.
But the problem is it's not
praising Nintendo Switch Online. Is that happening right now?
Don't do this.
No,
but
I'm asking you a favor. Just do me this favor. Don't do this.
I just had to be an ass. I'm sorry.
I know.
the actual online isn't perfect because I can't stand the fact that there's not just do for fun, for glory. Why is that not there? It's so bizarre that we have these random match and people are like, oh, we just do the rules. And like, yeah, you can, but there are many times where you'll do the rules and you'll still get
it's not consistent.
You'll still get 4 people in the match. Yeah. And that sucks. You know, I want to do the 1-on-1, and some people are like, oh, well, you're a bitch. And I'm like, well, Jesus, I'm just trying to play the way I want to play. And it's like,
this is why I don't get on my cell phone and voice chat anymore.
Yeah. All right, we'll talk about problems and, you know, good and bad. But
it's a 10 out of 10, one of the greatest games of all time.
The impression Smash Ultimate.
It's pretty good.
Man, some suspect as fuck.
It very easily could end up being my favorite Smash. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. It plays very well. It's gorgeous. But the one thing I don't like is I have to play the game and unlock fighters. So I would rather be able to pay and download them.
You're fucking garbage.
I mean, I'm a gamer. I don't have time to play games.
I will say though,
he's gone. Yeah,
I literally know somebody who they wouldn't want to pay to unlock them, but it would be a huge hindrance to him if like he got a Switch and got Smash because he only likes to play as Little Mac, and it takes quite a bit to get Little Mac unlocked, and he would not be willing to do it.
Well, there's a way to unlock every character within an hour and a half. So
yes, if you watch the numerous YouTube videos that have it in their
YouTube videos that show you how to do it.
Yeah, but it's not like it's
literally he's too casual to even watch a YouTube video to see how to do it.
Was he dead?
Then why are you playing Smash?
Yeah, it's not like he's dead.
He only plays when we play together, so and he always is Little Mac. So I could see him like stop playing the game. Like that's the type of gamer that he is.
Can't make video games for him. I'm sorry.
And there's people like that. I'm sure there's other people like that. But anyway, not that I'm saying I agree with it. I just know somebody who
filthy casuals playing a casual game intended for casual fun that became hardcore at some point.
Smash Bros is too hardcore for you. How
more deepens.
But yeah, I mean, I'm serious. I think it could end up being my favorite overall. I don't really know. I guess Wii U was probably my favorite before. But obviously the roster. I mean, what am I going to say about Smash? It's Smash. It's awesome. So this one is just probably going to end up being the best one. So very, very happy with it and look forward to throwing my money at Nintendo for this crap online to play with you guys.
Wow.
Clocked it. Got any impressions? First impressions?
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it as well. I mean, am I the only one who, when I first turned on that game on my big TV, who thought, "Holy fucking shit, this looks better than any goddamn trailer I've seen."
The game is fucking gorgeous.
Oh yeah, that's what I said. It's gorgeous.
The clarity in the
it blew
image.
me the fuck back. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah. Clarity of the image and everything. I was like, fucking hell, this looks better than every HD trailer.
Like the details on the characters, you were like, Jesus.
I was like, fucking hell, this looks incredible. But
I mean, we were playing Wii U, and I was like, "Oh, does the new one really look much better?" Yeah, it does. Looks a lot better.
Oh yeah, a million times better. But yeah, I was out on these Saturday nights, so I was one of those people who had to unlock some new characters very quickly because my friends wanted to play. So I'd done the old restarting the game just to try and get a few extra characters, and I kind of hated that. Because I do like going through classic mode, which is what I first started off doing on a Friday on launch, and I just enjoyed locking characters that way. And I kind of, I'm in a mindset where, what was I going to say? Where you have all these characters, and Nintendo obviously wants you to play them. And if they were all unlocked straight away, a bit like Smash Wii U, I didn't play hardly any of those characters. But when I'm playing through classic mode with each of these characters, and with the new classic mode, because they all got individual stories and stuff, I feel compelled to want to do it with every single character, and then you unlock them as you go. So I actually really like that, and I think classic mode is the best mode in the game. I think it's fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. The amount of detail in that mode as well with each character. It's like I was going. The last one I'd done was Luigi. and he's fighting like against Dark Link and like he's fighting against me characters who are like in like Halloween costumes and stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've really customized it to every single character. Then his last boss was Dracula as well. I know that's a bit of a spoiler. I'm sorry, but you know, it's just stuff like that I absolutely love about this classic mode. And I do like World of Light. I actually don't mind it, but it's brutal as hell. It's really hard. I'm really struggling with it, with some of the difficulty on it. And the only character I can't beat when I unlock him just in the normal game at the moment is Cloud. I think they've just made Cloud so hardcore to unlock. I don't know why I'm struggling with him. But
he beat me the first time, but I got him the second time once I could pick the character.
He's kicking my ass. I can't beat him. And also, who else is fucking me up as well? One of the Fire Emblem characters.
Is it probably Robin?
Yeah, Robin. Yeah.
Yeah, I struggled against him too for some reason.
I think I beat Robin first try.
It took me like 3 fucking tries to get him.
Yeah. It took me 4 to unlock Lucas, who I don't even care about.
Lucas is a bitch, and it's primarily his fucking stage. It's the damn stage is what's
Dark Pit took me 3 times.
Dark Pit is the same thing. I hate the fucking stages.
Yeah, Zero Suit Samus was kicking my ass, but
Dark Pit kicked my ass like 3 times.
I beat Earl. I beat them on first try.
I got it's random the difficulty. I think it's like some will just be super cakewalks. Like I unlocked was it Crom? I think it was, and he literally fell off the stage with 20%. And he killed him, and he self-destructed. I was like, okay, I hit him twice and he fell. And
that's also because he has a garbage edge recovery. That's the other problem. You only have to hit him like a few inches, and it's like, he ain't getting back.
Terrell, thoughts on the game?
I'm kind of like clocked it because I think you, Juice, and Robert both had the game before I did because I had to go to a Christmas party. So when I got home at like 10 o'clock and said, well, fuck it. What's the way I'm going to do this? I said, well, you know what? I'm going to run through the classic modes. And that's how I got like a good, like maybe 10 to 20 characters with it. Classic mode was fun as hell. I love some of the variations. Like, for example, I love the Bayonetta's final boss. This fucking Palutena. She had me dying. And then you got some characters like Kirby because Sakurai's a biased piece of shit. I don't care what he says. Of course, Kirby gets his really fucking unique boss from his games and shit.
Somebody else had that boss on another one, and it wasn't a Kirby character.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because some bosses are technically reused, right? I mean, they
reused some of them
for magic. Maybe it was Robin. No,
there are certain ones. I do
master in a few times.
Yeah, you get master in a lot. Actually, I got him a lot because I played like a good chunk of them. But I like that they're all unique and they all have different gimmicks. The only thing I don't like about classic mode is that whole little race you have to do to get to the end of it. It's the same for every fucking character.
I wish there was some variation, and I don't understand how to get those blocks that block you.
You need someone with a projectile for that. You need to run in front of it and then shoot.
The only way I've done it is if you like Bayonetta, you can shoot the walls and they'll stay up for long enough so you can get through there, and then you can get all the shit up there. But it's like
the last little spot. You have to backtrack.
Yeah, that's right. So many characters.
You do have to backtrack. I know you're talking about.
I tried shooting and it hits the block in front of it. It does not go through.
Really? Fucking.
That, to be honest, like that whole stage.
That's the biggest problem I have with it though. Is that
I wish there was variations or if it was random.
Yeah, it's just really fucking redundant. Everything else about classic mode is fucking great. Fucking love it. I've only done.
Credits are cool, but I feel like they missed an opportunity to make them even better.
Really? I feel like this is the best credits ones we've had in a while.
Yeah, I've played every single one. I've been trying to perfect it. I love it.
Yeah, I'd say the thing I don't like about credits because Melee had the second best, and it's essentially a tribute to Melee's. Because Melee's was that kind of weird roller coaster.
It could have been even more of a shooter, that type of shooter. And
we're talking about the credits.
I know.
I'm about to say this is really petty shit.
I just basically skip it now.
Yeah. So I still do it because you can get bonuses and shit. I did some of the World of Light. I think I've only done maybe like 20, 30 minutes of World of Light. I agree. For some reason, only the fucking characters blocking the damn treasure chest are a bitch. Like I struggled last night with Mario fighting Link. They had this dude, and he has a spirit that allowed his fucking final smash gauge to go quicker than mine. And it took me like 5 or 6 tries to beat that fucker. And then I go to the next one, and it's a goddamn cakewalk. So
Giant King DDD because I could not beat. I had to give up.
No, I went
cheap ass motherfucker.
There was one. I don't know. Did you guys do this one where it was like there's like this wind, and I want to say it's Yoshi or some shit, and like I jumped like once, and that's it. Like I can't go back, and I feel like I feel like I'm missing something.
The one thing I'll give World of Light is that even though it has some level of redundancy in it, I like the references it has for the spirits and the fact that you can go any fucking direction. Like you're not forced to go like you get to that crossword where you have to pick a way like left, right, up, and down and shit.
Yeah,
you can go any way you want to, and then just roll with it. So like I just went straight north. I'm like in this weird candy cane area,
yeah,
and shit. And I've like one of the gimmicks was I had to fight Bowser, but the floor was sticky, so I couldn't.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Yeah,
there's a lot of cool references. And what was the reference? Oh, it was Heracross from Pokemon. Well, as a Pokemon fan, I'm like, oh, I get it because Heracross eats tree sap, so of course the ground would be sticky. It's a cool. I like it's kind of like your Nintendo gaming knowledge in a way. It's like, oh, get the reference of how it relates to the fight you're doing. The only problem I have is that because of the spirits can mitigate a lot of that shit. Like I think one of the spirits is like, oh, you can stop yourself from taking freeze damage. So in certain fights, it doesn't. But I think that's the whole point. You're supposed to mix and match them. So if you want an easier experience, you can get it. I did some of the skill tree stuff. It's cool. And then just go into the basic mechanics of the game. I'm still getting adjusted. I don't think I'm as good as I was in Wii U by a long shot, and I'm just trying to get to that point again. But it is a lot of fun, and the game looks fucking gorgeous. The game is great. I just have my issues with World Life. I'm expecting to get very tedious, considering from what I've heard from people, it's like a 20 to 40 hour.
20 to 60 hours, I've heard.
Yeah, like it's a long ass fucking mode. And I don't think, and considering from what I heard, there aren't that many cutscenes in it, and it's heavily pretty much what I'm doing now. I'm a little concerned, but just like Subspace and that 20-hour fucking adventure, I'm gonna bust through that bitch. That has to be done. And I got all the characters last night, so that's gonna be my new focus, is focusing on that, and obviously playing online matches since you made me pay money, Nintendo. Yeah.
So, as somebody who still has never played.
Well, at least it was only $8.
I still never played.
Fuck you, T.
I've still never played Smash 64, so I can't comment on. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't like that better than.
I played very little of it.
This is easily the best Smash already for me, just because it still. I mean, if it didn't have maybe my favorite characters or something, I could see that maybe dropping it down some points, but I mean, it's just other than some missteps and things I hope they change or add later. It's the type of game I wish had come out earlier in this year, because this is Nintendo at their best. And like Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey, this is now the third pillar game. I feel. I don't know how some people could maybe make a case for Mario Kart or Splatoon 2 or something, but to me this is the third AAA feeling game, and it's just I'm so glad that I kind of regret thinking I was mad about it not changing as much as I initially thought I wanted, and I'm glad that it feels like Smash, and it has all these stages, and I like unlocking the characters, and I like classic mode. World of Light, 20 minutes I think I put into it, and I really was not I didn't feel any urge to ever play it again, but maybe I will just over time, just try it here and there. At this point I could live without it, but like I said, I'm only 20 minutes in. Everything else about the game feels great. I haven't done any local multiplayer or anything like that, but I'm sure it's fine. The online playing with Clocked It was just like buttery smooth. We did see a little bit of lag. We had 4 people playing with 2 people spectating at one point, and there was some lag, which is kind of, I mean, it's to be expected. It wasn't constant. It wasn't ruining just a few moments in the game. It wasn't like the whole match or anything like that. So overall, it's solid. Some character balance, maybe. I could see King K. Rool getting nerfed, like I said earlier.
Wow.
Because he's a bitch, and He has no weakness. I mean, literally, we beat you while you're him, but man, he's got so many positives. It's hard to. I don't even know what a weakness would be. I mean, he's got a projectile, a counter, priority, super armor, one of the best recoveries in the game, spikes. I mean, it's just he's got literally. He's
welcome, Lucario, to the. Sorry,
I just unlocked Lucario. Actually, my last character.
I just unlocked him just now.
I will say, I mean, we all love the game. We all like the game. No question. The online, I don't play with randoms, so I don't know anything. You know, I don't really care about that. But the arena setup for friends, it's definitely missing some things, and there's some really big annoyances. And the biggest of all is having to like drag your token, and then if you want to switch a character, then the token backs out, then somebody else hits start when there's only 3 people in there, and then the match could start. And then if you didn't put your spectating token or your token in the spectating stand like before anybody hit start, then the match starts and you don't get sucked into the spectating. You just sit there and have to look at the the arena base screen. And it's like, how about you give a little like check mark or something? Okay, you're in spectating. Okay, everybody, just a little green circle around them or something saying everybody's ready. And it's one of those things we kept messing up because you think, okay, everybody's in place, hit start, and then the people aren't spectating. So, I mean, that's stuff they can iron out. And then the other biggest problem, I always set up the arenas, is just the rules set. The layout is very, I would say, unintuitive, and it's like, okay, I click on the rules, and then all right, where the fuck's the option for stage selection? Well, then you got to go to more rules, or you got to click the subcategory, and then we couldn't figure out how the stage selection even worked. So there's definitely some little things that were kind of adding up, being a little bit annoying. But I would say those could be fixed. It's not a game break or anything, but I was setting up the arenas can be a little bit of a pain in the ass. And then you set up the rules, you think you got it all set, you hit start, and it's like, some of these rules don't apply. We had to change them, and it doesn't tell you which one of your rules don't apply in the arena. So you just got to wonder which one it was that it changed back to default. So other than that, I was pretty happy. We had a lot of fun. We played for hours and hours and hours. And once we kind of figured out the quirks, it wasn't as bad, but I definitely think they need to make a few adjustments there. So anybody else got any complaints or any negatives?
No, not yet. I'm
not
good.
Really. I think
I already gave it my negative. I just think everything should be unlocked from the get-go. I need to be able to pay to unlock everything. So
it's selfish.
And this is from I saw a tweet today from Jason Schreier from Kotaku, and he's saying the same shit. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I saw that as well. Yeah.
People actually want to pay instead of having to unlock these characters. They want the option to be able to pay and jump ahead. That's
what I got. He tried to clarify it by saying, I don't mind unlocking it, but it's just not compelling enough or whatever. It's just too much of a grind. And I'm like,
what?
You can play other modes in the game. You have 4 ways to unlock characters.
Right, there's 4 I was going to say there's 5 ways. There's 4 ways, right, to unlock characters. So you don't have to go through World of Light.
You can do classic mode.
That route, because that's the longest route to go.
Yeah, you can do classic mode. You can do random battles.
Right. I was playing with my kids, local multiplayer, and I think we were doing 5-minute matches or something. And every time there was somebody got unlocked, and that was super easy. So I don't understand. Maybe you just don't know that there's other ways to unlock the characters. I don't know, but.
Well, on top of that, this game has. Oh, there is one other feature I want to give a lot of praise to. If you fuck up and you die to the person you fight, they actually have a goddamn mechanic in the game that allows you to refight that person. Yeah. So let's say, for example, let's say you die to Lucas, right? If you go into that room where I think you can find classic mode and all in the multi-man smash, there's a little door in the corner that pops up that you can go in that and refight the dudes that you lost to already.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not in any other fucking game.
No.
You just have to fucking hope you run into him again in the other games.
I didn't know that, so I wasted at least 2 hours hoping Wii Fit would pop back up because I lost to her the first time.
Yeah, that's why I was so confused. I'm like, I didn't mention that at the time, but you can do that, like Terrell said, and that's why I'm like, what are these people? Are we just that complacent now? We're just that lazy as gamers?
Well, yeah, that's you hit it on the head, T. You fucking killed it. That's exactly what it is. Man. We can't be bothered. Life is hard.
I don't get it. Bullshit. Well, Wii U, everybody was open already, and it's not really.
I think it shows how much the industry has changed. Really, even for people I know. I mean, I got a friend as well who said he'd be more than willing to pay for all these cards to be unlocked. His argument was he's already bought the game. Why can't I have the characters? I'm like, you do have the characters. You play the game to unlock them. But he's like, but I want to play this character right now. I'm just like, well, go and get him. But he would happily pay £5 or $5 whatever to unlock them all. But
motherfuckers are surprised when everyone starts charging for everything in the gaming industry.
And it seems like we've gotten worse since people were complaining about unlockable tools in Mario Maker. Remember that when people were complaining about the tools? In Mario Maker, but nobody was saying, "Oh, I'd rather pay for them." Now they're saying they'd rather pay for them, and that to me is just like they're winning. The corporations are winning when you have gamers that have gone from just unlock everything to, oh, I'll pay to just unlock everything. And it's just like, what is going on?
Remember when that happened for Mortal Kombat X? Like
oh my gosh, I
forgot about that idea.
Yeah.
Now people
are motherfuckers pay for it, I bet.
How are you gonna make me pay to unlock a character that I've played for 20 years?
Yes.
No. Okay, please. Can I do that?
You think they would be complaining if Nintendo made you pay for the character versus just having to play the game? To me, that's half the fun of classic mode. Once I unlock the characters, I'll probably never play classic mode again.
Yeah.
It's the fun and the incentive of classic mode for me.
Yeah, and Nintendo knows that as well. I mean, at the end of the day, they spent a hell of a lot of time and effort creating and implementing these characters. They don't want people skipping over them. They wanted to at least try and once give every character a try. And like I said, with Smash Wii U, there's so many characters I didn't get around to touch it because they were so in your face straight away. And
it's overwhelming. It's just like
it's just overwhelming. So you just stick with what you know. Whereas if you're given little bits of incentives as you go along, you dabble, you touch into these different characters, and then you think, okay, they were actually all right, or oh, there you go, at least I tried this guy. So, it's a crazy generation that that we're living in to the point where I joked around. I said, at the end of the day, people would probably want when Red Dead Redemption came out, people would probably pay in order to get fast travel around the entire map straight away, instead of just trying to explore the world, initially for the first part to see what the developer's done. People just want to get there at the end straight away and move on. And games have just become so disposable, where it's just like, I want everything now, give it to me quickly so I can get out of the way so I can move on. There's people have lost the
cell phone influence. I think the cell phone gaming influence is creeping into
absolutely.
Well, that and the social errors as well, which is the whole, I got to get this because my friends are talking about it, and next week they're going to be talking about something else, so I got to be playing the same shit they're playing at the exact same time. Fuck whether the game is fun or not. That's kind of the issue as well.
It's almost like an evolution of, I got to get the game at midnight because everybody's online playing right now, and I feel terrible because I'm not. It's just like, you can just wait till tomorrow. It's not that big a deal. No, I gotta have it.
I want it today. God damn it!
It's like YouTube review culture as well, isn't it? Where I need to get the game, quickly review it. I'm not going to complete it. I'm just going to play 10 minutes of it and say, yeah, get this game. Let's move on now. It's
so you can have the first review out there with your thumbnail.
Yeah, exactly.
Retro did put a tweet out basically making fun of me because everybody on his friends list was playing Smash, and here I am playing Katamari Damacy.
And I immediately replied and said Xenoblade 2.
And I was like, I will play something else. I don't have to follow the fucking crowd. A lot of people do, man.
But Smash is a game where to me, I don't think it matters because I won't be having this game for a minute, and then once I do get it, then I will go online and then I'll destroy whoever I need to destroy at that point. I'm good. I'll play. I'll unlock what I need to unlock. Come again?
Not with those 6 characters, you ain't.
But I can play with those primaries too, though. So I'm kind of I'm an old school N64 smasher. So
I started and I was like, man, it's like playing N64 version for the first time again. I thought that was really cool.
I thought that was the point. They were trying to bring you to
So let's talk about some sales numbers, I guess, because somebody in the chat brought up the 1.3 million just in Japan.
That's damn good for Japan.
Then there's people saying that sounds small. Like, are you kidding me? That's the biggest Smash Brothers launch ever.
You're also talking about Japan.
Japan is very rare that a game launches at 1.3 million.
A million period.
Yeah, over a million period is rare.
Here's the way just to completely shut that up.
Yeah, but the last game that did that, I think, was Dragon Quest.
The 3DS version has the biggest opening in Japan of Smash before Ultimate at 958,000, and that was with a huge. And by the time that came out, the 3DS was probably what 40 million.
30 million, 35 million.
Didn't the 3DS version outsell the Wii U version like 3-1 or something like that?
Yeah,
by quite a bit. But in Japan only, Japan's biggest opening for Smash before Ultimate was the 3DS version at 958,000, and this is 1.3 with the install base of the Switch in Japan at like 5 million. That's huge number. And if you look at the Wii U version and Brawl, the North America's first week outdid the Japanese first week by a decent amount. So I'm guessing, with this being UK's fastest selling Switch game already, number 1, I'm guessing upwards of 3 million globally already. So
yeah, more than that, I would say.
I said 5 million.
If it's already over 1 million in Japan,
it's
pretty close to 5.
Yeah, it probably sold like, I want to say probably like 3 million in the US.
My prediction was 5 million globally, and I'm gonna stick with it.
I'm gonna hang around 6. I'm gonna say 6 million.
I don't know what the install base of the Switch in the US is versus Japan, but
we're at what,
significantly greater.
Well, the problem is, the last time we got an update we were at around 22 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Japan.
We also don't know where we're at after Black Friday, so I probably would say we're probably like around 25 million now.
Yeah, it's like what, 10 million Switches in the US, I think, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
you're also it's like 3 million Switches in Japan, isn't it, or something like that? Is it more than that?
Yeah, around that. Because think about it, what was it? Mario Odyssey sold what, 9 million fucking copies in the course of like
50% of the people in Japan own Smash already.
Yeah, like
before the holidays, it was 8.2 million Switches in the US.
Yeah,
so it's probably at least 10 million now, I would think.
Yeah, more than likely. If not, it will be by December 25th.
Yeah, it's true.
I would say
we're not even done.
If it was already at 5, I really think Nintendo would have made an announcement. I still think it's probably more like 3.5.
Waiting to make it a bigger announcement. It's like maybe 5 million is not impressive to us. Let's wait until it's 7 million.
Especially considering this game is an evergreen title.
Right. Yeah. You don't have to run out and make an announcement right away. You don't always do that.
It hasn't even been
this game will be $60 4 years from now. So they good.
Yeah, but I was saying this game is going to get supported until at least the end of 2019. This is shit. This motherfucker's going.
Apparently, it's at Amazon's.
Yeah, it was his best-selling
game by a console already.
That's
pretty surprising when you look at.
It was like 2018's best-selling console, game, and it was like, what?
Because Red Dead did like 12 million. You got to figure like 8 of it was on like the PS4. Well, that wasn't on. I mean, that wasn't all Amazon, but I'm just saying.
Still, actually, real quick, I'm curious.
Super Smash Bros. For Wii U is still $60 at Target today,
which is kind of nuts. It's nuts,
and that only sold 5 million total. The 3DS version was like 8 something,
and it's still $40 today.
This will definitely.
Wii U is pretty damn impressive.
Yes, 13 million.
This will definitely be the best-selling Smash Bros. Brawl is at 12.9. The Wii U and 3DS versions combined is like 13.7. So I think Smash Ultimate will definitely be right there.
Do you think Smash is going to have the better tie-in ratio though? Like Wii U is pretty damn good.
Well, nothing can beat the
This
Wii
Smash getting up to
ratio.
20 million when it's all said and done.
Also, by the way, just for those who are curious, how bad do you think the disparity is between the PS4 version of Red Dead Redemption 2 and the Xbox One version?
I would guess 3-1.
You're pretty close. It's the PS4 version sold 4.61 million.
Expected.
The Xbox One only sold 1.62 million.
Yeah. Wow. And weren't they advertising the Xbox One X version? Wasn't Microsoft paying for ads for that?
It's the best way to play, yo.
Well, on the X,
technically it is, but nobody has an Xbox.
Nobody's gonna buy that shit.
Well, Europe is not only are they, I mean, they're PlayStation whores, but they love these open world, like.
He always dogs the UK, man.
They just love these types of games. I mean, they absolutely.
But here's the thing that's so funny to me. Like, the narrative kind of changed. Because early in the generation, it was all about, oh, well, the best version of my, the best versions of my third-party games are on the PlayStation 4.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But now that that's changed, nobody gives a shit.
No.
The problem is
because now all my friends play on PlayStation. It's social.
The problem is social. That was true for what, like 3 years, right?
But that was never true.
But I mean, I'm just saying, like,
it depended on the game, really. But
I mean, I don't know. I was going to talk about my final thoughts. Now that I have the Xbox One, the S, it definitely feels like a step down from PlayStation 4 visuals. What I've been used to seeing.
It depends on the game, man. It depends.
I would say because the Xbox One X didn't come out until what, 2015 or 16?
The X?
Yeah, the X.
That just came out last year.
Was it that?
It's only been out a year.
Yeah, it was last year.
The
Pro came out in 2016.
That's what I'm thinking of. The reason why I said that is because for a while, that was true. The PS4 was the best place to play your games for what?
4 years.
3 or 4 years. Yeah. And then it's like Xbox.
By the time Xbox came and done it, was
too late.
Yeah, like the install base had already been so indoctrinated. It was like there was no reason to be like, oh yeah.
I bet you Black Ops 4. I bet it's an even higher. Different. I bet it's more than 3-1 for.
Oh, let's look it up. God damn it!
That's the thing. I don't know. I just gotta type Call of Duty because I don't know how it's listed because VG Charts is very, very particular about what you type and what it shows.
Very.
Can I just say, are we? I realize the time, and I'm not sure if you've got it on topic, Juice, but are we going to talk DLC characters?
I was thinking about it, but we kind of got off track with that.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
To be fair,
we got time. DLC characters.
Just to let you know real quick, the Call of Duty difference it's like half. So it's like 4.49 million on PlayStation, and it's 2.16 on Xbox One.
Yeah, the only one I see is Black Ops 3, which was.
Yeah, you know why? Because they didn't type 4. They did the I shit. So it's like 4 I's, and they didn't even do the right Roman numeral. God damn it!
It's so stupid.
It is stupid.
Yeah,
if you type in I like 4 times, you'll get it. And the
at
PC
least have the correct Roman numeral, right?
Yeah, it wasn't even the right numeral. It was supposed to be the
our stupid logo. We would be able to do our dumbass logo with the lines.
Man, fuck the logo. Like people buying the game for the goddamn logo. Fuck the logo.
They had someone they did like a mock-up for like Black Ops 10 and had like 10 lines like what
When are they gonna start doing the stupid lines? They can't do it for 5. That's just ridiculous.
Man, I can't. I thought Black Ops 4 would have been higher already, but.
Well, I mean, this also it's only up to date from November 7th. That was the last.
Oh
update.
Yeah, it doesn't have the Black Friday.
It's not all the way caught up yet.
So anyway,
yeah, we don't even know who won in November. Oh no, yeah, we do, don't we? MPD? I don't remember. Fine, go ahead, move on. Just
go.
Nintendo. I knew Nintendo won Black Friday. I didn't know they won November though.
Somewhere. Let me look through my sheets of past podcasts. We made some predictions on some DLC characters. Here we go. So it was kind of a mess. I couldn't get you guys to really settle. So here's the list that I kind of wrote in: a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 character, a Breath of the Wild champion, Resident Evil character, Steve from Minecraft, and Rayman. And do those sound like now that we know the first one, does anybody think any of those have any chance?
Resident Evil seems more likely.
I think even more of a chance.
I think Resident Evil has a strong chance.
Yeah.
But which one? Would it be Chris Redfield?
It doesn't matter.
Probably Chris Redfield.
I think it'll be
or Leon.
I think it'll be that old guy from
probably Leon.
Leon is probably a better choice.
I would say Leon just because we're getting a port of 4 on
yeah.
No, we would get JIL and Chris, and they would.
Hey man, I fuck with JIL, so we're good.
Yeah, they'd be skins or something.
I co-sign on that bitch.
The master of unlocking.
I'd prefer Ada Wong myself, but
well, I know you would.
I think everybody would.
I know you would. God damn it!
That name, I just.
But which one has Veronica in it?
Oh
Lord.
So,
Alexia, you gotta
Why
fight
can't Metroid crawl?
well, I watched that reveal, and I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? I had
I guess we need to.
Even after they said who it was, I have no idea. I'm like, what is this? This is a character coming to Smash. I've never even heard of this character, and I'm not the most. I don't have the I don't have those RPG roots or anything like that, but I feel like I'm fairly knowledgeable as a gamer, and the fact that the first one they announced is a character I had no idea.
Because I've been talking about the game for the last year.
I have zero idea who this character is. Even after finding out who he is, I still don't know who he is. So for me, that just means I'm definitely not buying the season pass. If it's going to be more obscure, newer characters, like it's not a good start for me. If this would have been like a I don't know who the character is, but somebody was like, all right, that's gaming legacy right there. That's a legendary character. Yeah, I feel good about this. I'm definitely not getting the season pass. I'm definitely not getting Joker. Even if has a good moveset and stuff, I'm not paying for a character I have no idea who they are and have no attachment to. So I watched that whole reveal, is just like, really? Like, this is what you guys are doing? I would.
That means.
Got to step that 3DS game up, son.
I have to buy him and beat you with him the whole time, so you're gonna want to buy it.
It's weird. I guess I need to address my opinion because people know I made my comments afterwards because I was mad as shit. You
weren't mad. You were fucking furious, man. I
was gone, bro.
Ruling.
Primarily because Persona 5 got so much hype in 2017, and especially when Xenoblade came out, I was just like, this game is not as good as people say it is. But I am going to admit something. I started admitting in the comments of that video. I recognize that what I'm talking, my issues with this is petty as shit and not realistic. I 100% admit that. So for those who are curious, yes, I realize it's some petty fucking shit. Just to really quickly mention though, it makes sense since Atlas has been around for a while, and Persona and Shin Megami Tensei have been around since the fucking 90s. Like I said in the video, so I recognize Joker's only been in existence since 2017.
That's the question I just asked Ruby in the comments.
Persona 5 came out like what was that? March or April of 2017.
When did PQ2 come out though? Because
it's only out in Japan right now. I think it just came out in Japan. Like it's not even out in America, and that's a 3DS game. And Persona is the spin-off series. That was one of my issues. If you were going to do a representative Atlas, I think it should have been from Shin Megami Tensei, not Persona, because Shin Megami Tensei is the main series. Plus, we've gotten more Shin Megami Tensei games than we have Persona games, unless you count the fucking Q games, which are just crossover games.
Technically, the first two were Shin Megami Tensei, Persona. So
yeah,
I guess you can kind of stretch that out for those two games to add another two.
And people need to let me be clear. I recognize why he's in the game. Persona 5 was very fucking popular last year. That game, I think it was that and Nier and shit. People were fucking in love with those games. And even with my issues with Persona 5, I still recognize Persona 5 is a damn good ass RPG. Even though I have my issues with it is narratively, which is why I don't fucking care for the character. It makes sense, and also because who owns Atlas right now? Oh, Sega does.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that. Sonic, Bayonetta, Persona.
Right.
Look at that. Look at all these Sega fucking characters that aren't really Sega.
But you know what I don't like about this though, if you think about it though, there's a lot of people that are doing the whole the looking at the past with glass half full type situation. These are the motherfuckers that would have never played this type of game when they came out. But I'm looking now, Persona 3, there's like they got an 86 Metascore now, namely because they got a whole bunch of 100s from people that reviewed the game in 2017.
Yeah, well,
so like, what the like really?
Let's just talk about
I guess to explain real quick, just to mention, the last Persona game before the one that came out last year was on the PlayStation 2. Unless you count the remakes that were on the PSP and the Vita. Was it the Vita? Golden?
Yeah, it was Persona 3 and 4 was on PS2.
PS2 and
they were all PS2, and then they got like pushed on the Vita or the PSP later on. They got ports.
Yeah.
Like, and Persona 4 was the first time I had heard of Persona because people were raving about that game up and down the goddamn wall. And then after that, it was like, well, I guess we're gonna try Persona 5, and the game sold like hotcakes. Also, side note, this game came out on the PS3 in 2017. I want that to be stated.
That's right.
Yeah, this was a cross-gen game.
and nobody reviewed it then either.
Because the game was in development hell for like, what was that, like 10 years almost? It was fucking stupid.
So can somebody give me a legit reason in the world of Smash, with all these legendary characters, how Joker even deserves to not only be in the game, to have even been considered to
because he's well, from what I heard, also people were telling me in the comments, I didn't know this. Apparently, Sakurai liked Persona 5, so that's part of the reason why he's in the game. And like I said before,
that's a weird reason though. It's like
I'm literally
that's part of the reason, and the other reason is because Shin Megami Tensei is a legacy series. It is a legacy series, and that's what Joker is a part of. He's a part of the legend. Even if Persona is a spinoff,
it literally says Smash Brothers cross Persona 5.
Right. But it's the roots go back to Persona and Shin Megami Tensei, which is why they did, Sharp FE.
Yeah, because think about it, we're all exactly like Shin Megami Tensei.
So why isn't there a character from one of those games? Why is it the newest character, a Sony character, a series,
pretty much a Sony character?
Yeah, it's a marketing
exclusively on Sony consoles.
It's a marketing.
Well, it's on PC too. So.
Wait, is it?
This guy.
Is it on PC?
The more I've heard, just the way you described all these games, I'm kind of. It's some people felt the way about Cloud, but at least Cloud had like 20 years of legacy in his name. Like I recognize Cloud. Like, and
but Shin Megami Tensei does have 20 years. Like I said, it came out like 1992.
But this literally says Persona 5 is.
Well, I know why. Yeah,
Shin Megami series. Like, I feel like absolutely. I don't care how popular it is and how much Sakurai loves him. I definitely would not give him. I'm not going to support this character based on just the fact. I mean, even if they announced Persona 5 coming to Switch, I guess that would soften. Not really the blow, but it just for me it just doesn't deserve.
The other issue is that Persona's been pretty Sony. Like we've gotten the Shin Megami Tensei series. Like we got both of the 4 games on the 3DS, and we're getting 5, I guess, on the Switch in the future. So Shin Megami Tensei made more sense in terms of representation on Nintendo platforms. Persona has been Sony exclusive since what, the fucking 3rd game?
And I don't think that's a money thing. I think it's just literally like, hey, we need help publishing this shit, and Sony's like, okay. I don't really think it. I don't think it had anything to do with we have to lock this down type situation. It was just like, we got this project, and can somebody help us? And they were probably the first to answer, I guess.
I disagree. I don't think Joker's the most. I think fucking Persona 4 is the most iconic of the games. That's why
I mean, Persona 5 currently, according to VG charts, has 1.7 million sold worldwide. That doesn't seem like a big, huge game that I thought it. I figured.
Oh, because at the end of the day,
that's niche.
It's niche. Atlas games. A lot of Atlas games are niche. I don't think any Atlas has any mainstream franchise.
Nah, none of them.
Because they do a lot of weird Japanese shit. Also, there's a lot of weird god and devil imagery in their games. So
Which for me, you think it would go to someone else.
This is a bad. Like this is not a good first impression of the DLC characters, and I mean, that's just my take. Anybody else have any impressions on it before we go?
I'm personally. That's not even a word. Personally,
you're just making the words. God damn it!
I'm personally fine with it because I want any character in gaming. It could be a goddamn, I don't know, anything, literally anything. could be a character in Smash, I wouldn't give a shit. Like I just want any character, and so the more the merrier. And it's interesting that you get more from other franchises. That's perfectly fine with me. But I do agree with you, Juice, that I think it. The more I think about it, the more it could be like it could have been a different character as the more WoW like third party. Like you could have had a different third party to start out to be like, oh shit, that's crazy. When in all reality, it's the
so
best
you don't have any. You don't feel Smash has like there's standards. You'd have.
I think the standards dropped when you had added 17 different Fire Emblem characters. Like you don't need
bullshit. I think the standards dropped when you start having so many third party characters.
But like but you have like Robin.
No. I don't
feel he's a great character, but like, let's be for real.
I feel like if you were to make that argument, though.
No, but if we were to make Smash like based on the most iconic motherfuckers, Robin wouldn't even be in the question. What the fuck, Robin?
If you're based on iconic, then Bayonetta wouldn't be in there.
No, I know.
Bayonetta's niche out of nowhere.
Bayonetta in some ways is just as niche.
I told you, Bayonetta would be. That's what I'm saying is that it's been a while that it hasn't been the most iconic people because obviously, you do have Bayonetta, you do have a Robin, you do have a bunch of these people that in all reality, you go to everyday people, you're like, do you know who this guy is? They'll be like, no, and that's fine. That's fine. I just think you get a variety of characters from a variety of franchises that build up to make it more iconic, I guess you could say. But like, I'm perfectly fine with it because the more the merrier for me. And maybe this
is them anyway.
What? What do you mean?
Oh,
what if it turns out to be my new
the whole time?
Just to be fair, I somewhat agree, Robert, but I would say literally when the ball was dropped was probably Cloud. Cloud to me was the first like, okay, I can see we just kind of don't give a fuck in a way.
But even then, can I explain why?
That was iconic though.
Can I explain?
Iconic. That's what saved Cloud, but realistically, it was like, okay, now we've started lowering our standards.
I agree. Robin is an iconic that's debatable. Fire Emblem fans, Robin was iconic. I didn't know who Robin was when they announced.
So I don't think
in terms of video game, like Robin, come on, like that's not even a debate.
You can't go into these realms because then you got like you could argue like NES and
I totally agree. NES would not be in there either.
We're naming all Nintendo characters though. I mean that's where it kind of.
Because it's
Nintendo. I feel like the line was more drawn at third party than Nintendo.
In all reality, if we were
it's Nintendo's game, so it made sense why Nintendo would grab Nintendo characters.
If it were only the top tier, it wouldn't be a roster of 70-something characters at the end of the day. And like that, I think it's perfectly fine that we have because it's Nintendo, we get a bunch of the Nintendo characters. That's great, I just think that like in terms of iconic stuff, that's been done since the 64 with fucking NES. Like it in all reality. And so like I think it's perfectly fine that you don't get these characters that are super huge and they get big off of fucking Smash. And
you might as well get rid of like Shulk and stuff like that because they're.
But that's Nintendo though.
I'm not saying get rid of them.
You should have niche representation. I feel like
I'm not saying.
No. I'm not saying you're saying that, Robert.
I'm not saying, but I'm saying the ball in terms of iconic stuff has been dropped since the 64 with NES and Captain Falcon. The
ball was dropped at the beginning of the franchise.
And that's the thing is that in all reality, like it's a celebration of you could say Nintendo, but now it's more branched into
you ain't dissing Ness and Captain Falcon. First of all, Ness was a character from a huge game, Earthbound. Everybody
that nobody buys,
but nobody buys it. Iconic as Super Nintendo game, and Captain Falcon. I mean, come on, F-Zero is still so highly regarded and wanted on the Switch.
Everybody sold 5 million copies,
and he's like the the face of that game. So
I get there's niche characters, but the niche characters are all from Nintendo's past.
Yeah, so that should be acceptable.
And it's just when you're adding a third part. For me, when you're adding a third party character, like I think Snake doesn't belong in there either. I don't think he's deserved.
Yeah, but I would say Bayonetta's a niche character.
Can I explain both of those real quick? Like Bayonetta is Bayonetta's going to be the most niche, and this is why. She's brand new. She's a Sega property, technically. Nintendo is publishing the shit, but she really doesn't belong. Snake goes all the way back to 1986 on the MSX.
Yeah, I think
even Joker now, he represents Shin Megami Tensei, which was also the Digital Devil story, which goes all the way back to 1986 and 87. So if you're representing where these games come from, they are iconic. They go all the way back to the beginning with Mega Man and fucking Mario and all that shit from the beginning.
Yeah.
So and if you look at what they're choosing, they are choosing those third-party franchises. Maybe not the characters that started those traditional franchises back in we were Glory Days Japan, but they're at least choosing a relevant character to represent that franchise. So if you look, you got your Mega Man, you got your Solid Snake from going way back in the 80s. You got all these characters that go back to the 80s, with the exception of Street Fighter and Bayonetta at this point. And obviously, Nintendo stuff is Nintendo stuff. So
Sakurai likes Joker. He likes that. He likes.
From what I read,
he get a couple in. I mean,
Tensei goes way back.
I was gonna say, from what I read, apparently the other reason why he liked Persona 5 and the reason why is apparently he took inspiration from Persona 5 to make Ultimate's menu setup. Even though you can tell it's heavily borrowed from Wii U. But apparently, like he liked a lot about Persona 5, and that was
maybe the animations.
I guess, I mean, that's a good point. He deserves to have some of his choices for all the hard.
Which is partially why there's a bunch of Fire characters in there.
You're asking me to pay for it. I mean,
I get it. I mean, I understand your point. Just remember, we were on the other side of the coin when Bayonetta was announced. I was like, "Come the fuck on!" And granted, it's not like I don't like Bayonetta. It was just back then I was like, she doesn't really deserve it. That was my thing, but realistically, she made the most sense because she had gotten a lot of Nintendo push in recent years. So, of course, if you were going to push her any other way, oh, look.
That was more of a special occasion. They did.
That's also because the fans voted her in.
Yeah.
And she had an exclusive game on Switch that was, I mean.
Like I said, she was getting a lot of Nintendo push.
So, I mean, yeah, if the fan vote wouldn't have been there, I don't think Bayonetta would be in Smash for sure. Like, I don't.
So according to the chat now, the only non-old school character would be Sonic. He would be the newest third-party franchise that Nintendo added to Smash.
I think
because even Street Fighter,
was Ryu
Street Fighter 1 was 87.
No, Ryu. This first one was for Wii U.
87. Fighting Street.
Yeah, Sonic would be the newest.
I had to think about it, so it would be Sonic.
Yeah.
And in US, I think it was 1990 instead of 89.
I mean, if you're talking about the series inception, then yeah, Sonic.
Yeah.
I mean,
so he's technically the newest.
Well, Bayonetta series is newer.
Well, yeah, but
Bayonetta she's the first one I said doesn't like. She should not belong with any of these guys as far as icons because she's not.
Yeah, she's not.
Any way. She's completely brand new.
The better choice.
She's got more good games than Sonic does.
No, she doesn't.
But that Super Sonic level at the end of Sonic Adventure 2, though.
People. These are jokes.
That's a lie anyway.
These are jokes.
I agree with that statement.
That's not true. It's actually not true.
Good Sonic games.
Actually,
that's not true. There's like at least 5 or 6.
I was gonna say there's at least 5 Sonic games that I really
Wildfire like. Engine, yeah, I play both of those.
But yeah, like. Actually, oh shit, I forgot about that. We could easily get a Dragon Quest rep. Oh my goodness.
Let me ask. I know Rob's answered this, but what if they announced a Destiny 2 character?
That's too much, yo.
But you know what they could do though? They could do a Skyrim character though, because they go all the way back too.
I'd be alright with that. I'd be alright with that.
That's a fuck you moment to me.
But Elder Scrolls go way back though.
Because there is no Skyrim character.
That is true.
You know, like
you know why?
There's a bunch of people with arrows in their knees.
Right. There's no iconic Skyrim. There's no iconic.
You want to know why I'm alright with this? Also, this character Joker though, because technically there are Persona games on 3DS. And you know what I mean? Like,
there's like 2.
Like, it's not like there's not like if there was a Destiny 2 character, it'd be a huge smack in face to us because it'd be like, what the fuck?
Shin Megami Tensei, like I can accept this because of those links, you know? Like,
yeah, that goes way back.
I might have my
that's a super deep cut.
Yeah. But I can recognize that realistically legacy wise, he deserves it.
And we got to figure a majority of these are probably going to be Japanese, if not all of them.
Bruh, I just realized they could.
As long as one of them is British.
Yeah. Somebody said Doom guy. I'm with that. Or Wolfenstein guy.
Doom guy would be fine with me.
Nobody's asking
make
me
more sense.
Nobody's asking who am I talking about? The British one?
British.
Yeah. British
Right.
character?
Yeah.
Who British?
Magic Kazooie, bitch.
No.
I say throw Carmen San Diego in that motherfucker.
Because Rare is a British company.
Oh, okay.
As much as I
I thought you meant like he's British. Banjo's British. I'm like, really?
as much
No
as
grab by the
Rayman,
Goonies representing what?
Banjo's from the Bayou.
So even though I absolutely would have been mad when that Rayman tease was shown for Wii U, I literally next to Joker for me, Rayman looks like just an amazing choice for me. So that's just
I would love
it.
I would say at least if nothing else, Juice, have you even seen gameplay of Persona 5?
Just whatever 5 minutes I watched you were streaming it for a little bit. I've seen some cut scenes of like for trailers and stuff.
I mean, it's a pretty stylized game, and even with my criticisms of it, I still say it's a good game.
I mean, he might be a great character, like I said, but I'm.
Oh no, fuck the character. Like the character himself.
I mean, in Smash.
You mean protagonist?
He might be a great Smash character, movesets. And
yeah, sure.
Just like I like Clouds as a character, like in Smash, but I have no attachment to Cloud.
Well, side note, I'm highly expecting a lot of Joker shit to get censored because for those who know about Atlas Games, they got a lot of
sexual
religion.
Yeah, they out there.
Bayonetta, they did the same thing.
No,
not like this.
You fight giant.
Hey, hold on.
Let me put it this way, Juice. You fight giant literal dicks in the game.
I was gonna say there's references and whatnot. There's giant demons you fight in Bayonetta, but there's no giant penis monster demons.
Yeah, no giant.
It's
no
not
parodious references.
It is not the same scene. I promise you. I promise you, bro.
And speaking of censorship, apparently Palutena gets no censorship.
What?
And Peach and Rosalina all have the black hole under their skirts where it's like completely blacked out, like past their knees.
Wait, what?
We saw all these draws on the Wii U, and we can't do them on the Switch.
When did this come up?
You didn't see me link that earlier?
No, was it like that on Wii U?
We saw these draws on GameCube, the purple lunchbox.
Wii U, there's underwears. I don't know why we're talking about this.
No, Peach is literally just all blacked out.
Where the fuck
That's crazy.
I gotta go back and look at this goddamn link then. Damn.
Why are you looking?
So the Switch is for babies.
I feel weird even talking about this.
It's just something I wasn't even paying attention to. Oh, I see. Because he got the black hole, but Palutena has
the black hole.
That term because literally, it's just like it's just weird that they would do it for one character, not the rest.
I don't even want to know what Terrell typed in to try and find.
I didn't type it. No. He just linked it earlier.
Under the dress, Peach.
No. Juice linked it a while ago. I didn't. I just went back up through the history.
Tell you how I found it. Somebody liked it. Maybe I can retrace my. Somebody on Twitter liked Kotaku's article, and they retweeted.
I think the only reason why the black hole exists is because Peach has always had black holes, and they just fucking moved her model over. That's literally all it did. I think they just moved her model over and updated it.
Yeah, I just think you mentioned censorship. I thought it was funny. So anyway, we've been going a long time.
Yeah.
I think we just get out of here. We don't need final thoughts because we'll be here another half hour. So
we already been here a half hour
on Smash Brothers and characters and all that in the future podcast because this game's going to be. I mean, we won't be even thinking about the next Smash game for 5 years, probably. I think so.
Right.
Maybe even longer.
But, no, these YouTubers though. My prediction is
they're going to port Smash for Wii U still.
Oh God!
As a collection,
I fucking dare that. Oh, side note,
I'm done.
I do want to mention this real quick because it's really random. For some reason, in Kingdom Hearts, for those who know that they go to Disney Worlds and shit. For some reason, apparently Winnie the Pooh has been censored in Kingdom Hearts 3, depending on where you're
in China.
Yeah, in China.
It's hilarious.
It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. I just thought that was funny as hell to me. the fucking unoffensive stuffed bear is apparently censored in China.
All
right, now we can.
All right. So yeah, thanks for everybody for tuning in. It's been a fun discussion, and yeah, I can't wait to have my record against Rob just climbing because I think the last time I played against you was Zelda the other night. Got some wins on you, but anybody that thinks they want to play against Rob and his King K rule, you're gonna regret it, just like Twilight did the other night. He was cussing.
I love the stars.
He was cussing within, I don't know, the third match. He was yelling. So
no, it was like the first match.
That way.
There's all kind of bitch dicks and all kinds of
under your skin with characters because he gets good with a character like Rob the last game, and now King K rule. So I don't know. Hopefully, if you guys ever play against him, you'll know what we're talking about. Maybe you won't, but anyway, we're gonna wrap this up, and we'll see you next week.